What's going on, everyone? It's Nina Infinity. Welcome to my channel on this Sunday where we're going to be reviewing Morbius, the movie.
Woo!
I just got back from seeing it. I have thoughts. But
Okay.
before I get into those thoughts, let's say hello to Jane, my beautiful co-host Jane. How are you, Jane?
Hello. I'm doing fantastic. Happy to be here.
Yay. I'm so glad you're here because you're like the only one. I would have been by myself if
Yeah.
unfortunately, Teresa couldn't make it. She's got a family event, and I think George is gonna try to make it. If he
Yeah.
can, he'll
Maybe.
be here. I did send out a link to a couple of other people. If they can make it, great. If not, it's okay. The two of us can do it. And poor script doctor, he can't make it because they're still asking for like Vax Pass and testing in like
At the
Canada.
theater.
Dude, they're not even checking tickets at my theater. The last 2 times that I went to the movies, I went to
Yeah.
Batman and this time, nobody checked my ticket as I went in. I could have just walked in, like, nobody cared.
That's funny.
So, I'm not getting checked for, like, the actual ticket, let alone a Vax Pass.
It's so
Uh,
random.
was so stupid. It was really funny, though, because I, like, walked in there and then because we have, like, one of those VIP theaters where, like, they give you food and drinks and alcohol, whatever you want.
Nice.
Obviously you have to pay for it. It's not like free, but
Yeah.
But I walk in there and all these people had like masks on
Mhm.
and I'm like, you're all about to stuff your face. I don't understand what you're saying.
It's like in the restaurant. It doesn't make any.
Yeah, it was funny. But yeah, so like Jane, tell everyone where they can find you before we start.
Yes, you can find me here on YouTube where I post movie and television reviews and occasionally some pop culture commentary. You can also find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at J Theory.
Yay. And so I just recently dropped a video, Jane, about Jada and the slap.
Yeah.
I don't did you see it?
I saw it.
Did you see? Okay.
I think it
Uh,
was accurate. I think it was an accurate take.
I'm so glad you did because
So
somebody called
good.
me racist. I was like, "What?" Like now I know what how Ryan Kinnell feels because I was like, I didn't know that narcissism was a white people thing. Like I thought that was kind of like a universal thing. Oh, there's Teresa. Hi, Teresa.
And you also
Hey.
showed an example, which was interesting. I mean, it's not like you just said it in isolation. You showed a video clip of her being narcissistic.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that that was pretty clear. Somebody else was like, I some of the comments are really, really funny. Like somebody was like, "This was all fake to get
Oh
people to
my
talk
god.
about the Oscars." And I was like, this dude like went and threw away his entire career to talk about the Oscars. Like I don't
Nobody was talking about the Oscars. People were talking about them. If
Oh, it's
anything,
funny.
they will get something out of it. In fact, both of them. Will, maybe not so much right now, but long term, he'll
Mm,
profit from this. Chris is definitely gonna profit from it.
yes.
Jada is gonna get something out of it, whatever, more
I
attention,
don't
I
think
guess.
Will is gonna profit out of it because he's like already losing projects and people are like already canceling on him. And
He
it's
is
just
now, but he'll have his redemption story like all the rest of them.
I hope he does. And I hope the reason that he has his redemption story is because he realizes he's living with a freaking narcissist.
Well, he needs to if he divorced her, he would probably boost his reputation immediately.
That's
But
true.
the
That's
problem
true.
is that I think he's one of those people who he had a divorce before. He got married
Mhm.
really, really young,
Yeah.
and from what I understand from other interviews, he deeply regretted like, he wants that family where they get married and they stay together forever,
Yeah.
and she's abusing that, I think.
She is 100%. It's crazy. But we're not here to talk about Will
We're
and
not.
Jada. We're not. Actually have a movie to talk about, which kind of like sets the tone about how excited we are about this movie when we start a review for a movie and then we decide to talk about something completely different. I feel like that kind of sets the tone about what's going on with this movie. But before we start, Ms. Martin Muses, aka Teresa, you are awesome. Thank you for the rose. I don't even have to check. I know it's a rose. So thank you so much. Um, but yeah, so
Yeah.
uh let's start with our um let's say experience. Like, did you
Okay.
know about Morbius beforehand? Like, have you ever read a comics, watched the animated show about it, like anything? And
I
do you
have not. I did not read anything about Morbius um until they announced the film. And
okay.
that's when I started doing some research into the character. Um, but I'm not a big, like he's not one of those types of characters that would have stood out to me anyway. So
Mhm.
I may have seen him at some point, but I wasn't familiar with him or his lore or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, me either too much. The only thing I know about him because I'm not a comic book reader, but I most of the stuff I know about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Marvel in general is from the 90s animated TV shows
Yeah.
like X-Men and Spider-Man. Name
Mhm.
Spider-Man because Spider-Man's where Morbius is from.
Right.
So I watched Morbius, like, there was several episodes where, they had crossovers, and I like, his origin story was in that animated episode, and, I mean, obviously, I really like that character because I also love the Black Cat. The Black Cat's one of my favorite
Mhm.
characters in Marvel, and she ends up, like, falling in love with Michael Morbius, AKA, like, this
Yeah.
vampire dude, and then ends up, like, trying to help him, like, regain his humanity and figure out how to cure himself. And therefore, I really like the character because, uh, you know, Felicia Hardy's journey and like her journey as the Black Cat is
Mhm.
really kind of surrounded with him as well because first she was in love with Spider-Man, and then she realized she's never going to get Spider-Man, and then she started falling in love with Morbius, and then she went into the whole Morbius thing and trying to help him. And then later on, I really liked the episodes where they had a crossover with Blade, because
Ah,
there's also episodes where Blade wanted to kill Morbius because he's a vampire, but
yeah.
he realized that he's not like the regular kind of vampire. So I don't know if they're gonna do that kind of crossover now with, because we know Blade is coming to the MCU as
Right.
well. Um,
Well, from what I've heard, there's so much discussion about this that it's
mhm.
confusing at times, but apparently he's not a part of the MCU per se.
I know, because he's part of that weird Venom,
Yeah.
uh, like Sony crossover situation, even though they now like have Vulture there apparently. By the
Right.
way, everybody, sorry, but this is gonna be a spoiler review. So like, spoiler alert. If
Oh,
you're
yeah.
here to not talk about
Spoilers.
spoilers, you're in the wrong place. So come back, go watch the movie and
Spoilers.
come back. But if you don't care about spoilers and you're like, I'm not gonna watch this shitty movie, um,
What
you're in
is
the right place then.
so wrong?
We'll spoil it for you.
I
Uh,
liked it.
I mean, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. I was like, I wanted to love it, but I was like, what's happening? Like, I'm teeter-tottering. I'm like, okay, like I was kind of bored. Like, I've never been bored in like a superhero movie before. I was bored in the first
Yeah.
little while. Like, not the first like 5 minutes, because I thought that was a good start. Like, I had a good start with like him going to like the cave and like holding out his hand and
Yeah,
everything like
yeah.
that. Like, I thought that was cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, and then he comes to the lab and he starts doing his lab stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like a really big drop. It's like, "Oh, okay, like this is getting boring. Like
See,
let's
I
go."
felt like there was a drop off when when we got to the boss battle.
Mhm.
I was just like, "Oh, this is complete trash." Like,
Okay,
that's what it was,
you know
complete
what? Let's talk
trash.
about that for a second, because I wanna talk about the CGI for a minute,
Oh my
because
god.
I thought that the CGI was extremely lame, because I was like, I don't understand why when he's flying around, and like
Yeah,
they both were, like, their suits turn into, like, Smokey Monster. I was like, "What the fuck is up with this weird."
it okay, so what I think was supposed to be was the, like, electromagnetic or sound waves, like,
Yeah, it was
that's
supposed to
what
be
they were
like
trying to demonstrate.
sonar or
Sonar,
whatever.
yeah,
Yeah, but it
but it
made
was a
no
weird
sense.
way to portray it. It looked like it was coming off of them.
But that's it, it wasn't though, because remember when he, like, caught the ball? Like, when he, like, did the thing,
Yeah,
and then, like, all of a sudden he, like, caught the ball, there was, like, stuff coming off the ball. I was
that's
like,
what see, that's the problem
"Huh?"
that I had because I thought it at first I thought it was a demonstration of the
Mhm,
waves, right? Sound,
mhm.
whatever. But then, like you said, he would land and there would be stuff, I guess,
Yeah, like
around him,
particles and, like, weird, like,
but it's
things everywhere.
visible to
Yeah.
everybody.
And see the thing okay, so the thing with this is why it's so odd, because Michael Morbius to me, like, okay, let me read the super chat. TEST, site, test site for $10 says, "I remember him from the '90s show, but also the '90s comic run. I know he's not that popular of a character, but I can't recommend enough of the '90s run. It was an amazing read, great story and a character." Test site, I'm going to be reading this because now that
I agree.
now that I'm hanging out with Az and Gary, I want to start reading some of the comics a little bit more, and especially like Daredevil and Spider-Man, because I love Spider-Man and I know Michael Morbius is in the Spider-Man universe.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be reading this. Thank you so much for the super chat. So, but like that's the thing though, like the '90s show was so good in that sense because the '90s show showed that he's just a vampire. Like he's just like he's a man that's turned into a bat.
But
Like
this
it's
is the
not
origin story.
but but what I'm trying to say is like when they're trying to show him in the movie as
Mhm.
like okay, he's become like a vampire slash like a bat like being that is
Yeah.
a vampire.
Mhm.
Like they've made him way too like what's the word I'm looking for here? It's not realistic in a sense that like, okay, he's just a bat vampire. Like he's just that, not some sort of weird mystical vampire
Yeah,
thing.
hybrid thing. Well,
Yeah.
I think that's what they're getting at is that he hasn't transformed to that yet because he's still I wasn't clear on this either, but I think he's still on artificial blood.
He was until the very end where he drank the girl's blood. Oh, and I
Um,
think that the blood that the dude gave him wasn't artificial either. I think he gave him like real blood. I think.
I'm not sure now.
Matt Smith. Because remember when he went to prison and he was
Yeah,
like,
and
"Here,
he
I
drank
brought you
it.
this." I think he brought him, like, real blood. I don't know if it was
Mhm.
fake blood or not, but I think it was real. Um, but, like,
I just think he hasn't fully transformed yet. That's the impression I got.
well, no, he hasn't fully transformed because when he does fully transform, he actually becomes, like he turns into a giant bat,
Yeah.
essentially. And then, like, because that's what I remember in the '90s animated cartoon, he turned into a bat. In the animated cartoon, what happened was he decided to go and get help from Spider-Man and the lizard dude, Doc Connors. And they tried to help him with like the radiation thing, like I think it was
Mhm.
the gamma rays or whatever. But instead of controlling the man spider the way it did with Spider-Man, it had the opposite effect with him. It grew the mutation.
Yeah.
So he turned into he took too much of the radiation at one point and he turned into like the bat. And then he like left. He was like, I'm gonna go and like be in my cave and go to sleep. And like, it was like a whole thing,
But
and
I don't
he went exactly to the place that they shot at the
yeah.
very beginning, like, in that cave mouth, like, that was cool because I was, like, from the cartoon.
I thought that that's the direction they were headed in, but I wasn't entirely disappointed with this particular angle because of the story it seems like they're setting up. And I think they needed the dynamic between him and the other character to make it work.
Well, hang on, what do you mean by the story they're setting up? Like, what do you mean by that?
In terms of making him a part of this universe, I don't think that his being a bat would work,
No. No, he's
and it would
vampire.
probably be too costly in the long run. So he
Probably.
has to be a humanoid character, or at least someone who can shapeshift,
Yeah.
basically, in order to interact with the other characters and the rest of the Venomverse or whatever they're doing.
John says, "Drank the girl's blood," so straight up stealing Blade plot lines. They kind of were
They
because
yeah.
she totally turned into the vampire queen too, and I was like, "Wait a minute, isn't this from Blade?" Because she turns into like I was like, "What?" Like, I didn't get it because she turned into a vampire, but then that was part of Blade, so I was like, I don't get it. Like, I don't really know what they're
Yeah.
doing
I don't think anyone does.
with
I don't
all
think
of
they
that.
do entirely at this point because they took a lot of the Spider-Man stuff out too.
Yeah, they did. And that's the part that really annoys me is that they took out the Spider-Man stuff. Mind you, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna take out all the Spider-Man stuff, but and then in the end, we're gonna
Mhm.
tell you, oh, like this is the Spider-Man world, and we love Spider-Man." Like, or
Wink,
like
wink.
they name dropped Spider-Man in the end, which
They
I
did.
thought was really funny. I was like, "What?"
It's like for no reason.
We need to team up against Spider-Man. It's like, "What?"
And why
Okay.
is Morbius like, "Sure."
Yeah, Morbius doesn't even know him. Like, he's like, "What?" Yeah, fuck that guy who's a spider. Wait,
So
who is he
stupid.
again? Like, it was so bizarre. Like, he didn't even like it didn't even show at like any point like that because he was in New York, right?
Yeah,
So it didn't even show at any point like um what's his name? Like J. Jonah Jameson going like, "We
right.
gotta get the bat," like, or not bat, sorry, "We gotta get the spider," like, "That spider dude, he sucks." Like, we didn't even see anything like that, like, during the
No,
movie for him to be like, "Yeah, let's go get Spider-Man." Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like,
no.
"Wh why?"
All of the Easter eggs were removed. It's like they had a
I
last minute conversation. We're like, "You know what? No, we're not gonna make it a Spider-Man movie."
it was so bizarre. Like, there was just so many bizarre things about it. Like, well, the last 2 scenes too, like, the 2 end scenes,
Yeah.
I was so confused. So, like, I was like, "Okay, wait, what?" Because he was in prison, like, the
In
Vulture was
his
in
universe,
prison
I
in
guess.
his universe, but then I guess he got blipped? Like, is that what happened?
Yeah. Okay, so I don't he got blipped into a different universe, which is not what we were told happened in No Way Home.
Right. 'Cause we
So
were told that didn't happen, but then it did happen.
he was supposed
'Cause
to
it
be blipped
also happened with Venom, though, but then Venom went back. Cause
because they all
remember?
went back, I thought.
They all went back, but apparently they didn't go back. Cause
Apparently he did not because convenience.
I don't understand, it was so confusing. Cause I was like, "What? Like, how is he here now?" Cause the only reason that Venom remained was because he, like, left the little piece of himself or whatever. Um,
Yeah, it didn't
so
make any sense. And
but
apparently he's not a criminal in this world.
who?
He had
Vulture?
no criminal no, yeah, Vulture.
Oh, yeah, yeah, because he was free.
He had no
Like,
criminal history.
yeah, no. No, I didn't get that. I didn't get that ending scene at all. I was like, "Wait,
And then how did he
what?"
get his suit?
Yeah, how'd he get his suit? Because I was wondering that too, Jane. Because I was like, "Wait, he was in prison though, and then now he's got a suit, and then he's flying to this dude." And it looked even more hardcore than I remembered the suit. Because I was like,
Yeah,
I don't remember him having a mask. Did he have a mask?
I can't I thought he did, but it
I
was
don't remember
also
that.
it was shot so weirdly, you could barely see anything. That's one of my other complaints.
Yeah, it was
And
a
I
little too
get
dark.
it was in the dark, but
It's like all these movies now, they're like, "We needed grayer, grayer,
yeah.
grayer." I'm like, "Dude, I can't see." Like, what?
It'll be in pitch black next time.
I
You'll just
know.
hear the fight.
I'm like, "What?" Um,
Trust
so
us, it's happening. It's
I
great.
yeah. We're, like, all over the place on this review, but that's fine.
Just start
You
pulling
guys
the
you
hair.
guys in the chat are awesome. Smash the like, share the stream, all that good stuff if you're interested in any of this. Um, have you guys I mean, has anyone seen this movie that liked it? I mean, I've heard very mixed reviews. This is one of the reasons that I wanted to go and watch it for myself
Yeah,
is because I heard such like intensely mixed reviews. Like some people were like, "I really liked it. It was really fun," and blah blah blah. And then some
yeah.
people were like, "This movie's ass."
I
Um,
get how people didn't like it was a very, very simplistic story, but it was also, I think, an age-old story, brother against brother, right?
mhm, mhm,
Um, but and I get why people didn't like the CGI. It wasn't the best. It really went off the rails
mhm.
near the end there. Um, the chemtrails or whatever that was so
Chemtrails, that's a good one, yeah.
was so ridiculous, but I also visually, I kinda thought it was cool at the same time, and they did the bullet, what they call it?
The
Bullet
bullet
time?
time?
Yeah,
Mhm.
shots, which
That was
again,
fun.
I thought was really, really fun.
I like the bullet time. I just didn't get why he turned into the smoky monster from Lost. I was like, "I don't understand this at all, like, why."
Visuals.
And we were talking, like, my husband and I were talking, and he was like, "I don't understand why he looks like his power looks like Nightcrawler." And I was like, "That's true. That's what
Yes.
Nightcrawler used to do, because he would, like, turn into, like, the smoky dude, and then he would go from, like, one dimension to the other in, like, the X-Men,
Sure.
and it was really similar to that sense." And he was like, "Isn't this dude just supposed to be flying around?" And I was like, "Yeah."
I I don't know.
But they made him, it wasn't even like, "Oh, I'm flying using sonar." It was like, "I'm flying using this weird thing that turns my clothes into smoke." I was
Well,
like, "I
that
don't."
was later though. The first time it was when he flew the first time using the train,
Yeah.
he figured out that he could get on the wind or something like that.
The wind did it.
I liked how they did establish like, there were a lot of parallels and foreshadowing that I felt was done well.
Mhm.
Like Milo, we could tell he was gonna be a problem in the beginning when he really went to an extreme in his violence in defense of himself against the bullies.
Mhm.
So I like that. I like that they established their relationship and how intelligent they were from the beginning in subtle ways. But there was so much exposition.
There was a lot of exposition, and honestly, I thought the bullying scene was way too contrived, because I
You
was
thought
like,
so?
yeah, because okay, who, like, beats up a fucking crippled kid over a letter, like, gang beats him, like, with, like, 4 different kids, like, kids aren't like that anymore, man. Like, it's like, they can be a little cruel, but they're not gonna start physically assaulting a crippled kid with, like, fucking crutches
I couldn't
over a letter. I just can't
they
see it.
I thought what happened was they were keeping it from him and he was trying to get it and they pushed him and he swung
And he swung the thing.
and that's when they started to beat him up.
And then they went insane and started to, like, gang beat him, and I was like, "Well, I mean, you did, like, start it because you were
He
bullying." They were, like, pushing him and shit, but I
yeah.
was like, "That's what I'm saying, though, like, in this day and age, I just don't see, like, 4 or 5 kids that are, like, above the age of 13, because they were all around 12, 13 years old,
But this
come
wasn't this
and,
day
like."
and age.
Huh?
This was in the past.
It was, like, 25 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just don't see it though,
I don't
Jane,
know.
like, crippled kid, like, he wasn't normal, he was a crippled kid.
They
He
had
had
to but, I mean, Morbius did warn him not to go outside.
I mean, kids can be so cruel, but still,
It
I
was
was
okay, it was a little bit contrived.
it oh, 40 years ago, no, dude, it was 20. It
How old
was
are
like,
they supposed to be in this? I
yeah,
don't know.
40 years, no, man. I think it was, like, 25 years ago or something like that.
I don't know.
Jared Leto's Jared Leto's 50 years old, there's no way in
Is he
hell.
really?
Let's see, there's no way.
I mean,
I'm looking
if
that up.
he's
That
in
is
his
not
30s?
true. Oh my god, he is!
Oh my god.
Okay, that dude is drinking some
He's a vampire.
baby blood or something at those retreats he's doing in Croatia. I don't know what's going on over there, but I feel like Jared Leto's into some weird ass
Oh my god.
shit.
He looks okay, let me just say, he looks
Wow.
really good in this movie.
He's apparently a vampire in real life, because what the
Clearly.
fuck, dude? 50 years old?
He
This
does
dude does
not look
not look 50.
a day over 38.
No. That's insane. I'm 38. This is fucking bullshit.
He does not look anywhere near it. How is he gonna
Uh,
look at 60?
what the hell, Jane? He's clearly doing some shit up in those Croatia mountains. I don't know
Whatever
what
he's
he's doing,
doing,
but he's
he
doing
needs
some
to share
shit.
it.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Drinking some baby blood up there. 200-watt studios for 5 says Nina, please make your cat and heat noises. I'm adding it to a soundboard of your animal. God damn it, 201 Studio. You just go back and rewind that Infinite Hope where I did it. No, that's not happening on this
You're making me
stream.
a soundboard.
No.
Oh
Yeah, that did happen, by the way, Jane.
my god.
They were like, "Make animal noises," and I was like, "I'm not doing it for free." So people started super chatting me to make weird cat and heat noises.
That's funny.
So whatever. I mean, if they paid for it. Um, oh my god.
Someone said serious drugs. What's gonna make you look like that?
No, usually drugs de-age you.
Or age
They
you?
or yeah, sorry, age you. They age you. They make you look like shit. They don't like, I don't know. I like, dude, that guy, he looks great. I did not think he was I thought he was like, I thought he was in his
Maybe
40s.
40? Yeah.
I don't
Wow.
know.
Someone said he's gotta have Asian genetics. He has to have some black genetics.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
not
black don't
rich.
crack. Black don't crack. I feel like he's definitely got something going
He's
on.
something.
He's either
Something.
got something going on in his genes or he's making some things happen in those Croatian mountains.
Sacrificing
There's some
his soul.
sacrificial stuff going on. He's like an actual vampire. He's like, "This is my life story."
This is my origin story. That's
Okay,
fucking
let's talk
funny.
about some of the other stuff. The other thing that I thought was a little contrived was
Mhm.
that dude that raised them. By the way, he's a great actor. I really like him. He's the guy that played Anderson Dawes
Yeah,
in what's his name? What's it called? The Expanse. And he was also in Fringe. He's
great
really
actor.
good. Oh my god, $2 super chat from 201. Hey, I paid $7 for my noises. God damn it, 200 Watt Studios. This is a Morbius review, not an animal making noise stream. So no. But thank you for the $2. Um, what's it called? That guy. First of all, I don't understand why he got so, because he was a doctor in like a big hospital.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why he got so attached to like that one kid. And he was like, "I'll take care of him while you go to school." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Why? Like,
Well, I mean,
what's so special about him?" I don't get it.
Milo thought it was pity because they were dying, but they lived a long time to be dying.
I know.
Like,
Because I thought it would be dead. And then
yeah,
they lived for like another 25 years. I was like, shows that what that doctor knows. Because he was like,
right.
you're gonna live for only one of 5 years. And he's like, well, no. And they weren't even doing drugs back then.
Right.
Like meaning like, experimental drugs with bat blood.
And I don't
Um,
know why Milo was so resentful of him. Like, why was he so jealous?
I know. It was
Didn't
it
make
was
sense.
it didn't make sense why he would be so jealous because he was like, if anything, that guy should be jealous of you because I took care of you forever.
Yeah.
Um 200 Watt Studios. That wasn't specified in the description.
He
Well,
wants to
I'm
talk to the manager.
sorry. Yeah, go talk to the manager of 200 Watt Studios. Um, and then and then the other problem I had with that character was how he died because I was like, okay, so like he called Morbius and then he went there and then he was like, "I'm dying."
Yeah.
And then died in his arms like 2
Well,
seconds later.
why
I was
did
like,
he
"What?"
even call Morpheus? I mean,
Yeah.
Milo told him to tell him something. He knew he was dying. He shouldn't have complied.
Or why not call I don't know, the hospital and be like, "I'm
911?
dying. Send an ambulance and some blood because I'm fucking losing blood over here."
Yeah. He just
But
got cut, right? It
yeah, he
wasn't
just got cut, like, in
throat
the
wasn't ripped
stomach,
out.
which also was, like, another thing that made absolutely no sense because I was like, "Okay, so this dude's a vampire, but he's just gonna, like, slash the dude and then leave? Like, why wouldn't he drink his blood? Like, isn't this whole point
Mm.
about blood? Like, why isn't he drinking it?"
Well, I think he wanted him to be bait or something. Like, he did basically what he wanted him to do which was to drag Morbius there, but
Mhm,
I just couldn't understand why he would go along with it. Why would you endanger your other essentially your son
mhm.
because your other son has lost his mind? Like, it didn't
Yeah,
make
but
any sense to me.
I also just thought that, like, the death timing was really interesting because it was like Morbius got there and he's like, "I gotta get you to the hospital," and he's like, "Avenge me." And I was like, "Dude, what?"
He's very
He was
severe.
fine, like, 2 seconds ago.
He was I mean, they needed him to die, I guess, I don't know.
Hey,
You killed his
Polly.
Hey!
I think Polly was one of the people that saw this movie and liked it.
Really?
Yeah. Polly, did you like the movie? I'm pretty sure he liked it. If you liked it, well, I mean, if you're free, you can come on here and talk to us about it. Here, I'll send you the link. Let's see.
But now that you
Latino.
mention it, that was the other thing that I couldn't quite understand either. It seemed like when he thought the girl was killed,
Mhm.
that is what took him over the edge.
Yes.
But you would think when he killed his dad, that would have been the thing.
Yeah, but also he like the first time he lost it too because of the girl, because he was like, "Oh," because that one guy like knocked him out,
Yeah, yeah.
and then he was like, "Oh, you touched my chick. I'm gonna mess you up now." Pulled a Will Smith.
He did. I thought of that too in that scene.
Did you really? Because I
I
was totally
did.
like,
I
"Oh
was
my."
like, "Oh my god, it's Will Smith." And Will was
He
a
going,
vampire.
he going, he's going Will Smith on their ass. Um, but yeah, that was funny. I just really didn't like the. Yeah, there was some bad writing. There was some bad writing, and there was like some really cringe like bad writing, and then there was some good writing because there was a couple of like there was a couple points where I like I actually laughed at the jokes. Like I thought like there was a one point where I think he made one joke about how he's not Venom. I had a
Yeah.
chuckle at that. There was a point where I had a little bit of a chuckle at Matt Smith dancing around
Oh
because
my god.
it looked like Doctor Who, and I was
Yeah,
like,
it
he
did.
totally was, like, channeling his Doctor Who situation, so I had a little chuckle at that.
This was like evil
Um,
Doctor Who.
yeah, it was definitely, like, evil Doctor Who. I didn't like or care about that whole character, I have to say, because
Really?
yeah, because I like the idea that Morbius is alone and being a vampire. Like, I
Mhm.
don't like that was his whole deal. Like, he was like, he turned into a vampire, he was gonna be alone, and then he realized there was other vampires, like, in other places in the world with Blade. Like, when Blade
Mhm.
showed up, he realized that there was other vampires. Now, apparently, he has the capability to make his own vampires. Like,
Yeah.
it's already happening, like, it's just so fast. Like, I liked it when he was just the one, especially, like,
Yeah.
in New York. Now there's 2, like, it's like, "What? No." This story became less special because it wasn't about Morbius being a vampire, it was about him and his friend being vampires.
Yeah. I think they
Um
wanted to show his humanity, and maybe over the course of the story, it's slipping a little bit away.
hmm,
But
maybe.
I don't know. I like the relationship of it.
I think the other thing is, like, I feel like what they should have done is maybe made it so that like, the enemy is not Matt Smith, but it's,
Yeah.
like, the Vulture. Like, I would have liked it better
Mhm.
if it was, like, some other villain, like, not like, "Oh, okay, I'm going up against another vampire that's, like, the evil version of me," and
Yeah.
then I think it would have been more fun that way.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But I don't know. I just didn't like Matt Smith as, like, that vampire because I felt like it took away from Morbius's story of him, like, turning himself into a vampire and having this struggle.
Right.
Um, I don't know. Mind you, I love Matt Smith, and I think he's a great actor.
Mhm.
I just didn't like where they were going with that,
I think
this
the direction you're
story.
describing is probably what people expected from this,
Mm,
but they wanted more of the emotional drama, dynamic between the 2 characters, their family, and the girlfriend, and all this stuff.
yeah, I think so
A
too.
more traditional story, I guess. I don't know.
What'd you think of the girlfriend? I felt like there wasn't enough chemistry between him and her.
There it didn't it seemed very close, like, maybe they could have pushed it there, but, there was definitely some sort of separation between the 2, and maybe it was because they worked together. You
Mm,
know, I couldn't quite
maybe.
get a sense if there had ever been a relationship or open feelings expressed. You could just tell that they liked each other, and one problem I did have with that is that one of the other characters referred to her as his girlfriend,
I
and
don't
it's
remember
like
that.
yeah, it was weird to me because or some sort of love interest. It was basically said
Mhm.
because I think they knew that we couldn't quite tell, and I
Hmm.
hate when they do that. Like, you need
Yeah.
if you had shown that to us, then you wouldn't have had to then go and say it. And I felt like there were a couple different instances like that where it's just the exposition went a bit too far. There were things that they could have shown.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I also think that there was, like, for me anyway, I definitely didn't sense that chemistry. Like, like, how,
Neither
like,
did.
Tom Holland and Zendaya have a chemistry? I
Yeah.
was like, "Okay, yeah, like, you can see the chemistry." Even Zendaya and, Timothy, whatever his name is, like,
Mhm.
the one in Dune, even they, like, had, like, pretty good chemistry. Even, like even though you didn't get to see much of them, but in the
Right.
scenes that you did get to see, like, you got to see that chemistry. I didn't see it very much in this movie, and I was like I mean, I wanted to, but I didn't
Mhm.
quite it seemed like this movie to me was really formulaic in that sense. Like, they were
Yes.
just like it was like, "Okay, we have, like, a checklist of what we wanna do." It's like, as soon as it's done, like, that's it. Like,
Right.
it was just very formulaic. There was no soul or substance. Like, there was, like,
Mhm.
nothing that really captivated you, and you're like, "Oh, yes, this movie, like Morbius." Like,
Yeah.
there was nothing really special about it. I didn't feel anything, like, special, and I think that's one of the things that people look for when they go
Mhm.
see a superhero movie is, like, that special thing, like, that, like, "Okay, this movie is, like, taking me away from this world, and it's just so different, and it's special,"
Right.
and, like, I don't know. I just
It
didn't
wasn't.
catch that.
It wasn't original at all. It's a story we've seen before. It's a
Mhm.
story that's very familiar. It's just they've laid over different character skins, basically.
But that's the
Um
thing, Jane, I don't necessarily mind a retelling of that kinda story, like, in fact, that's the kinda thing that I was talking about, like, let's say with Reacher, because I was
Mhm.
like, Reacher is very formulaic too in that sense because, like, you're talking about something that everyone's used to, like, everyone's used to this kind of character, everyone's used to this kinda story, but it's the way you tell it because a lot of the times, like, originality is dead, right? You're kinda, like, rehashing all these
Yeah.
ideas and, like, saying it in a different way, but for some reason, this one versus Reacher, for example, for me, was missing a lot of soul. Like, I don't know, maybe it was because it was just so dark and, like, I don't know, there was just, like, no color schemes. It was I don't know what it was. It just seemed dead,
It
like,
very
literally.
I agree, and I think part of it too is that you couldn't really because it was so dark and because it was so hidden and the way they shot the scenes,
Mhm.
it didn't feel like much was at stake at any point. And like I
Right.
said before, his reactions to deaths didn't escalate in a way that I thought made sense.
Mhm.
So it fell a little bit flat.
What
Flatter
did
than it
you
could have been.
What did you think? Because I know a lot of complaints about the movie has been about the lack of violence, like, because they've made it, like, PG-13.
Yeah.
So, like, what did you think of that aspect of it?
I think that that contributed to the problem
I
because
did
it's like
too.
they wanted to have violence, and I don't know how you can have a vampire movie without violence, but the way they decided to do it was to basically disguise it with these sort of slow motion shots and quick cuts and shaky cam and covering everything in darkness, and
Yeah,
it made it where it didn't really feel like it was beautiful to watch to me, but I didn't feel like I came away with any sense that there was danger to
right.
anybody.
Yeah, same here. I mean, even when, I kinda laughed when he, like, scratched his I'm gonna call him dad, like, or father because I forget the character's name. None of the characters were memorable enough for me to even remember
No.
the name. That's
Yeah.
the problem. That's a problem.
Yeah.
But when you have like, when he scratched his dad, that was, like, one of the times that you saw blood, like, in the
Mhm.
movie, and I was like, "So you can show blood." Like, it's not like you can't show blood at all, or like the time, like I mean, one of the first scenes he showed blood because he's like cutting like his hand
Yeah,
and he like you
but very
see the blood.
little.
Very, very minimal stuff. I mean, like that part when he injects the mouse and then like the mouse dies
Mhm.
and it's like and it's it's like we're literally croaked. I was like, okay, so you guys can't like show blood like or like this vampire killing people, but like you'll show a mouse like dying, like croaking on like
Painfully dying.
painfully dying. Yeah, because it just makes no sense to me. I'm like, okay, if you're not gonna show violence, then you shouldn't show like a little mouse dying either. Like I
Yeah,
don't know, it just makes no sense to me when
yeah.
you're like doing that kind of thing.
The standards were really weird.
Yeah, like, okay, so this is okay, but that's not okay. I mean, we're talking about a vampire here. It's not like we're talking about, I don't know. I feel like kids would understand that we're like if they're watching the movie, if they're 13 and older and they're watching the movie,
Yeah,
they'll get that this is a vampire. It's not a
and it would have been a better movie.
no.
If they had just let it be R-rated,
Mhm.
then they could have gone to town, and it would have been the slasher flick it deserved to be.
Yeah, and I think it would have like kind of made it a little bit more I don't know, like you said, like like it would have added a little bit of substance and a little bit more um like there's stakes here. Like
Mhm.
when that chick got injured or whatever, I was like, so like who cares?
Right.
She'll be fine. Like
And they
and
didn't really
then
do anything to her, they knocked her into the wall or something. It's like
yeah, she got like knocked out. Oh my god, I was like, what?
I guess we were supposed to be, like, scared or something at that point? I didn't feel
Raises
anything.
questions on the new Craven movie. Yeah, I heard they're gonna have a new Craven movie
I
too. I don't
heard
know when.
that, yeah.
Um
I hate that.
I never really liked Craven as a character, and now I'm like, really? Like, we're gonna have a movie about Craven? Like, that guy was boring.
I don't like the whole idea of the Sinister Six thing they're trying to do anyway.
You don't like the idea of what?
They're trying to go for the Sinister Six thing, basically,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
it's just like, what I'm over it, honestly. You're not doing these movies well. Just stop
No,
already.
they're not. King's what? King's what? Port
Kingsport Cow?
Port Cal. Kingsport Cal. Thank you so much for the $5. Says if they would just make what is in the comics, everything would be fine. That's why they are adapting it in the first place. Don't change anything. Don't say
Right?
that. Yeah, like
Yes,
that's the thing
I
that's
agree.
really weird about it is that like Morbius does have such a good story, and like I said, I've never read the comics, but I watched the 90s animated cartoon and I know that one's really close to the comics. Like it's got a lot of like the same storylines and stuff like that. So I feel like if they did anything to do with the comics or even the 90s animated story, like it would have been a good movie. Like I would have like it could have been good, and you can add like more violence to it by
Yeah.
making it rated R and just having it like have more stakes. This movie actually, like what it showed me is how shit Blade is gonna be.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh my
because
god.
like I already kind of thought that Blade was gonna be shit. Um, because it's MCU. But when I like, cause they announced Blade, and I was like, okay, that's gonna be shit because you got the MCU like surrounding it, and then and then they said it's gonna be PG-13, and I
I
was
was
like,
never
oh,
even a fan of the Blade movie, so it's just
I
I'm
love
already
Blade.
not happy about it. So for them to announce what was it gonna be, a reboot or
Yeah,
a
yeah, it's gonna be a reboot, I think. Like
mm.
it's like a whole new one. But like because of that, I was like, "Oh, that's gonna be trash." But then they announced Morbius, and I was like, "Oh, but then Morbius is Sony." And at first, I don't think they were planning on making Morbius PG-13. I think they were planning on making it a little bit like because they were like, "We're gonna make it darker," and I was like, "Okay, like that usually means more violent." But then they didn't do that, and I
No,
was like, "What?"
it didn't make
Um,
sense.
I will say this movie in my neck of the woods, in my theater was packed.
Really?
Yeah, it was packed, more than Batman. So,
Oh.
like, because when I went to see Batman, there was barely anybody there. There was maybe like 4 or 5 people in the theater.
Mhm.
This movie was basically sold out. So I think it's gonna make its money, at least internationally. I don't
Yeah.
know, but it seemed like there was a big, uh, like, I don't know, like, people were like, "Yeah, let's go see Morbius," whereas in with Batman, not so much. I guess maybe, I don't know, Robert Pattinson is not very liked in Mexico. I couldn't tell you. I can't
But
tell you.
I agree with that comment, though, that they should just adapt the comics as is. I think the problem is that they get the right to these IPs and they just decide, "No, we're gonna come up with something better."
Yeah, "We're gonna do it better." I was like, "What?" Like,
No.
it already has a good story. You're not creative enough. Like, stop. Like, just, like, don't think that you're, like, more creative than the original people who created
Yeah.
it. Why don't you start there
Right.
and then and develop the character, develop what everybody likes, and then later on, you can do your own thing. Like, you can be like, "Okay, now that we've developed the character and stuff, we can do our own weird shit,"
Mhm.
and then people will be like, "Oh, no, you ruined it. Go back to the shit that you
But at
originally."
least the fans will get something, and then they can get something on the back end,
Exactly.
you know?
Yeah,
Because that's the
like,
same thing they did with Naomi, like, the comics are so much better. What they've done with the television show,
ooh.
complete trash.
Well, and that's ho at the bottom line though, Jane, I think that's how I felt about this movie. Is I felt like it was like a big CW movie. I was like, this is like a I didn't I it
It
did
did.
not feel like a theatrical,
Mhm.
movie, like a superhero movie
Yeah.
or villain in this case, because technically he's not a superhero. It just didn't feel like that to me. And then like I said, just as it got good, it was like, "It's done."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What?" Like, I was so confused because I was like, this was actually becoming, like, a little bit better."
Nope, it's over.
And then it was over. And then they showed, like, the 2 of the probably shittiest, um, like, closing sequence scenes I've ever
Oh, the
seen in
credit
any
scene.
superhero movie. The Vulture didn't even look like the Vulture. His outfit wasn't even green. I was
It
like, "Where
was
did you get your shit?"
so weird. All of these
It
unanswered questions, all because they chose to add those scenes.
Yeah.
It's just
They
like,
shouldn't have done that. Like, I don't know
no.
why they did that. And, I you know what? I'm gonna answer my question. I do know why they did that.
Why did they do it?
They did it because of SpiderMan. They were like, "Oh my god, SpiderMan made so much money because it had so many people in it. Who can we stick in this movie? Okay, Michael Keaton, let's go." That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
Because
It's not
otherwise
gonna
it's
work.
like, I
It's
don't
not gonna get
understand what
made
they would
into
do.
the next movie, whatever that happens to be. I don't know. I agree with you though. It felt like something you would watch on TV or maybe even a TV show. Like
A
this is the
TV
one that could have
show.
been a TV show.
'Cause I was like,
Next
when's the next
episode.
episode? I wanna see the next episode now. Like, now that it just got good, like,
Yeah.
let's see what they did. And then
And they're
it's
like,
like, "Oh, now
"No."
I gotta wait 3 years for maybe another movie to go." For Morbius 2. By
On to the
that
next
time, I'll
character.
forget this entire movie.
It'll be the next character though. They're setting it up for whatever their new person is, and then they'll team up.
Nick, hey, what's going on? Nick says CW goes 35 minutes of talking about feelings in hallways and then 5 minutes of
Yeah.
action. That's kind of what this movie was like, though.
Yeah. There was a
I
lot of so much exposition, narration, whatever you wanna call it.
Mhm.
It felt like he was just reading his diary.
Yeah, and then he's just, like, sitting in the lab, like, just, like, doing lab stuff and then being like, "Oh, yeah, this and this. Okay, now I gotta, like, maybe drink it, and then I'm gonna go trap myself in this room now and
It's
see what
happening.
happens because I can't drink like, I can't make myself like, I have to make sure I don't drink human blood." Like, I was like, "Do something."
The main character literally locked himself in a box.
Yeah, he did. I was like, "What is happening right now?" At
Yeah,
least
what
go
was
to the
happening with the bats in the thing? Like, who was feeding them?
let's talk about that because the bats made no fucking sense. And then okay, first of all, they were vampire bats too. They weren't like regular bats. These were
Right.
vampire bats. So like at one point they totally seemed like regular bats
Mhm.
because when he brought them to the train station, like, in the end, because at first I was like, "Well, these bats aren't gonna do anything to the other dude," like, in
Mhm.
the end, because he's
Exactly.
also a vampire. Like, why would
You
they
to
do that?
you told us
Yeah.
that they thought you were one of them
Yes.
because you have the same blood now.
Right. But for some reason, he could use them to get them to hold that guy down, at least. Like, it
So
wasn't like they were eating him, but they were, like, holding him.
he was controlling them, but how was he controlling them?
I don't
Did he
know.
develop a relation like, was he the parent to them? He was feeding them every day? I mean, that wasn't happening.
We didn't see any of that. We didn't see him
No.
feeding the bats. We didn't see him, which is
Connecting with them in
bizarre
any
because
way?
when vampire bats are awake, they do require a lot of blood. Like, so who's giving them blood? Like, they even okay, let's say not a lot, some. Like, where
Something.
is the sustenance coming from? Like, there was no, like, okay, like, here's a sheep that we keep around here to, like,
Right.
put in the room every, once in a while or whatever. It's like, oh, they're just in this, like, beautifully designed cage.
Did he
The
kept a secret from his assistant somehow,
right.
who worked in the lab with him?
It made no fucking sense. I was like, I don't understand these bats. Like, who's feeding them? How are they surviving for this long? Usually they go back to sleep. These bats weren't asleep. They just kept, like,
How
flying
come they're
around.
moving?
I was like,
How did they get out at the end?
I don't know.
They
He, like,
were
called
locked in.
them and then they, like, used the power of the bat and they, like, broke everything and flew out. And I was
How
like,
is
what?
that possible?
I mean, none of it, like, okay, we're gonna have to, like, subvert expecta or, like, our
I
disbelief a
couldn't get
little
past
bit.
it. I couldn't get past it
I
because
couldn't get past it either.
they were in a tank that was created in while he was human, right? With the
Mhm.
intent of keeping them there and away from humans because he knows how dangerous they can be,
Yes, because
right?
they can eat
So
fucking people.
so it's built so that they can't break out,
Right.
and yet he can call them to break
Whenever he
out
wants, and then they turn into super bats because,
because
because
they
we're
are
talking about
animals,
regular bats. It's not like
right?
he was experimenting on them and making them, like, super bats or something. It was just, like, all of a sudden, it's like, "Oh, these bats are extremely
Yeah,
powerful and can break through the fucking glass and then go and hold the other guy down." He's like, "Hold him down while I get him," and it's like, "Dude, what?" Like, that other guy has the same power as you, so he can go like, "No, you get them," and then
right.
the other guys will go be like, "What?"
It would have been cool if they were pushing the bats at each other, like, until they, like, smash together
See that okay,
and
we
explode.
laugh. It would have been comical at least, like, like that. It would have been something. I don't know, but it was just so weird because and I like my husband was like, he was like, "Didn't they just say that like those bats won't do anything to you?" Because like he's like
Right,
the it was a because he had said that he was like, "Oh, these bats like we're friends, like
right.
they won't do anything to me." It's
Like,
like,
their
okay, that
pets,
guy has the same power though, like, and I'm like, I don't know, I couldn't tell you,
even if
like,
it were telekinesis of some kind, like, they have the same powers. It makes no sense.
it made no sense. It made absolutely no sense. Hold on a second. I
And you could
got
barely see anything anyway.
um Streamlabs or something is giving me a couple of uh like notifications that Melissa Lord, discount superhero and Mexican Iron Man just became sponsors. So I don't know if they like
Woo!
just redid their membership or something. It doesn't show anything on this end, but if you did, thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know why it's saying that, but thank you. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. But yeah, so okay, what else? What else? That chick, I thought she was really flat. I thought she was pretty though. She was really pretty,
Yeah.
very feminine.
Yes.
I like those things because I apparently it's rare now to have women look like women on screen. I don't
And
know.
she was also able to be intelligent, strong,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
She
But not, like,
tried to
super strong where it made no fucking
exactly.
sense.
Exactly. She wasn't able to
So
beat up all of the guys in the ship or whatever.
yeah, and, like and she got knocked around by that one guy, which I was like, "That's actually kinda funny," 'cause, like, I was like, "Get out of the way," and he, like like
That's
I was like, "That's something from the '90s, man." Like, you don't see that anymore, like, those, the some dude pushing some chick like that. Hey, what's going on, Curtis? Good to see you.
and
Um,
she was able to try to advise and give him different insight and perspective, and she was clearly concerned about him, all without coming across as controlling and basically a jerk.
yeah, yeah, and I like those things, and also the movie wasn't woke.
It
Um,
wasn't. I couldn't think of a woke thing in it.
yeah, I didn't see any woke elements at all. Like, if that's one of the problems for people, I can tell you right off the bat that it wasn't woke.
No.
I you won't see like wokeisms in this movie. We are joined by another woke individual though. It's Polly.
What?
I'm just joking.
Polly!
Wait, what did you just
I'm
say?
just joking. Polly's not woke. Aw, hi Polly. How are you? You're so cute.
Um, oh, great, man. I was just eating some tacos really quick.
Nice.
Thanks
I
for the
like that
invite.
photo behind you
Yeah,
of the what's it called? The
Stormtroopers?
stormtroopers.
stormtroopers.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
look dope. That's
yeah.
cool.
My buddy, she buys me like I don't know. She knows I love Star Wars, so she like that's like 3 Star Wars wall pieces that she's gotten me.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Polly, since you're joining us late, I wanted to tell people who don't know you in the chat who you are and where they can find you first.
Oh yeah, sure. Latino Slant. There you go.
There you go.
YouTube, live every Wednesday afternoon, and just trying to just really hit that resource on arts and entertainment from the Latino culture. I'm gonna have case in point this Wednesday. I'm gonna have the novelist V Castro, and she wrote the new Aliens Vasquez book
Oh.
that everyone's talking about, and I'm reading her new book, right? Her book before, just so I can see what kind of writer she is, because it's like, hey man, that's great. Oh yeah, you're a really bad writer.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
But it's like this is my research, and when I have these guests, so I have guests, I'll have reviews.
Yeah.
Come check out the channel. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody check out
Thank you.
Polly's channel. He
That was
is
nice.
awesome. I love Polly. So Polly, did you like the movie?
I did. I had a
Yeah.
fun time. Yeah, I had fun.
Like a lot?
Well, okay. So when you when you go we went in cold, man, cold as F, right? Because we're like,
Okay,
oh
all
my
right.
God, we are not. Oh, the critics, and now people are starting to hate it, and we're
Right.
walking in on a Thursday night. It was like, oh man, this is gonna be bad, and we're like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. And I'm like,
Okay.
all right. And then so by the end, we walk out, and me and Chris were both like, why is everyone saying this is a piece of trash? Like we had fun. Wait, I think there's some problems with it. It's not great, I think I think part of it too is we've set our bar so low with Hollywood big films that's not good either. That's why you guys rock as far as as far as your critiques, and you got to keep the coals, you got to keep their feet to the fire. So one of our low bars is, what is it woke?
Yeah,
right?
is it woke?
Right.
It wasn't woke. I
No,
didn't see a
not at all.
single woke thing in there. And we
No,
were just
you
talking
almost
about
had
that as a
you
given.
almost had a damsel doctor in distress.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was rare. That's what we were just talking about. I mean, I like that scene where she got like knocked out by that one guy.
Oh, she got
And
she got rocked.
And
Yeah.
I loved that woke Morbius up.
Yeah, that was cool.
He went Will Smith.
He went Will Smith on his ass.
No, you didn't. So I get it why people aren't crazy about the film, or maybe just don't even like it. I had a good time. My question to you is, would you like to see Jared Leto's Morbius in another film, not necessarily Morbius 2?
Um, yes, depending on, I mean, he's a character now. Like he's now a
Mhm.
character and sure, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him in other stuff. But it's just like at the same time I was just telling Jane, I feel like this movie I feel like I would have liked it if it was just about Morbius being a vampire, not about Matt Smith's character. I feel like they kind of took away from Morbius being a vampire in this movie. Like it was like,
Mhm.
because that's his story. Like it's like, okay, he did experiments on himself to become a vampire, and it's a struggle of wanting to find his way back to humanity. And then they took that away immediately with saying, "Oh, this guy's also the same thing." Like it's like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I just feel like that kind of cheapened the storyline for me. Um,
Um, God,
but I
I
would
love those two guys together.
I did
Uh,
too, but I feel
mhm.
like I don't think that Matt Smith should have been another vampire. I think they should have made him another character. They should have made him
Well,
another
here's to me why it was
enemy.
interesting. Well, here's to me. I mean, another enemy would have been cool, you know, but the way they cut this thing, that's the one thing we have to talk about is that I think it got more formulaic with its being such a short cut.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was longer in the fall, and they cut it again after they literally cut it after Spider-Man's success.
Yeah, which was so weird.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
Like, what's
Hmm.
the thought process behind that? I wonder.
Um, I have no idea.
It's
But I
like it
think
feels like they're distancing it from Spider-Man while at the same time trying to market it off of Spider-Man.
Yeah, like that name drop. We gotta go get Spider-Man later. Yeah, let's go
oh, he
get
was
him.
cool. Come on, he was
Yeah,
cool as
it was
shit.
cool, but it wasn't cool at the same time because it's like, how did Morbius know anything about Spider-Man? We weren't told anything. This is what I was telling Jane earlier,
Well,
is
didn't
that
you
we
read
weren't
about
told
him in
anything
the?
about Spider-Man in this movie. It's not like he even saw a picture of him going like of Jay Jonah going like, "Oh, that menace, like Spider-Man, we got to find out who he is." It's like
Well,
Morbius
that'd
has
been
no
yeah.
idea.
To me. That would have been that's like too telegraphic. The fact that we know a Daily Bugle, he reads it, it's red. He's in Spider-Man's hood. He
But
knows
in
Spider-Man.
the trailer, we get to see at least the wall, like the graffiti
I
in the
know.
trailer,
Yeah.
and they
No,
took it
listen, you're
out.
right. I think the cut of this film um is kind of the opposite of the Batman. I
Yeah.
wanted the Batman to have this cut and maybe Morbius to be a little longer,
That's
you know?
exactly what I said to Jane. I was like, I
Oh,
don't
did you? I'm
understand.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
Because I was
repeating
like,
what
I
I
don't
was.
understand what's going on with movies these days because they don't understand how to do the cuts. Because in Batman was too long, and then Morbius ended like right when things were picking up. And I was like, okay, this is getting real interesting. Let's see what happens next. They were like, it's
Yeah.
over, the end. And I was like, what? And then they gave us two of the the crappiest ending scenes that I've ever seen. I was like, what? Like,
Now,
because
see,
it made no
I like
sense.
those endings. I
It
like
I
didn't
didn't
make
like it. It made no
Oh,
sense.
here's another
sense.
thing I'd really like, ladies.
Hmm.
No Marvel humor.
I like the Marvel the I thought there was one scene that was Marvel humor was like when he was like, "I'm Venom," and like
I'm
when
better.
that that was pretty funny. It was a
Yeah,
little
but it
bit
was, you
Marvel-y.
know, it ran. I mean, through the story, the humor
Mhm.
was like it was well done. Even Matt Smith's freaking dancing was
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
that was
bizarre and awesome.
so Doctor Who. I was
I
like,
liked it.
he was channeling
Ah,
Doctor Who again.
that was a
I was
treat.
happy with it because I love
Hmm.
Doctor Who and I love Matt Smith, but
Hmm.
it was
Well,
very
so
Doctor
what I was going to
Who-esque.
say about that, I love, I actually loved that he became a vampire as well because you know they had such a bond and a promise since they were kids that conflict was like I'm not going to give this to you because look what it's done to me.
Yeah.
I gotta go end myself. And then that Matt Smith's character took it. I thought that was great.
Yeah, I thought it took away from Morbius's struggle and journey. I thought that it would have been better if he was somebody else or like or if he had died, if he had simply died not knowing not being able to be cured and like,
Mhm.
have that be the final thing that sets Morbius over the edge of wanting to cure his disease and wanting to cure this thing, because that's exactly what his struggle was. It's like, I need to figure out this blood disorder. That was his drive, was this
Yeah.
dude, right? And wanting to
Yeah. And his
create
own affliction. Right. Yeah.
and
Sure.
his own
It was
affliction.
great. I
And
love.
I think if they had
Mhm.
killed him off, it would have given even more of a drive to Morbius's character of like, okay, I failed at rescuing him, so I need to experiment on myself to know if it works or whatever.
Yeah.
It would have given that extra drive, and I don't think it did. It gave it a
Well,
little bit. I don't know.
I would like to have seen the cut from last fall. I think we can all agree that all the storylines we're talking about kind of suffered from the edit. I think the performances, all the things we were talking about, I think they're
Mhm.
there. I love Aja Arjona. That's a Latina that played the doctor.
I did
flute.
too. I thought
Oh,
she was great. I
yeah.
liked her, but I
Yeah.
didn't like them together. Isn't that weird, Polly? Because I didn't think they
I
had
think
chemistry.
I think there was I think there were one extra scene away from that chemistry. What I love. Are we doing spoilers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're doing spoilers. Go
What
for
I
it.
loved is when she woke up as a freaking vampire. Oh my god!
But
I'm
that
like,
was
please bring her back.
something that was totally taken from Blade too. Like that was another
Okay,
thing.
I
I was
mean,
like, what?
yeah.
Like you're mixing shit up here. Again, this is a story about Morbius. Morbius is supposed to be alone. He feels alone. That's his character. He's supposed to feel very alone. Then he gets involved with the Black Cat. The Black Cat's like the only person that can, calm him back down to his like kind of like he's kind of like the Black Widow to the Hulk kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was another Marvel joke, by the way. You won't like me when I'm hungry. I like that because that was
Yeah.
like, the Hulk saying you won't
And,
like me when I'm angry.
and there were some Doctor Who jokes, right? So you're no doctor.
Oh yeah, there was. Yeah, there was. There was a
I-
couple
It was subtle.
times.
It was subtle. I mean, I was listening to you guys when I was prepping the food. Great talk, and I see a lot of your points. It's just
terrible.
this movie is terrible.
But
People said.
I agree with you though, Polly, that I think that
I
there
do
was
too.
some stuff missing because you can clearly tell, like
Mhm.
the jump from this Milo to villain, even though they did set it up in the beginning, it did feel like very abrupt. Like,
Yes.
I
like,
mean,
you went extreme real fast.
it was a
Real
very
fast.
quick movie, and
Yeah.
I wished a little bit more of breathing time. Even though I did love how he was trying to find, he was finding out what his powers were, what he can do, and that because we
Yeah.
don't get that at all, right?
Mhm.
You're like, oh my god, I'm all powerful, I can fuck shit up. It's like, why?
But I
how
was
that
telling-
happen?
They did show a little bit of his training himself, which I thought was fun.
No. I'm saying that
Yeah.
they spent time. He spent time finding his powers. Like, what am I doing here?
Unlike Ray Skywalker.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Unlike Ray Patine, yeah. Here's the thing. Polly, what did you think of the weird smoky effect of the flight? And like, I didn't like that because I was like, I don't understand what they're trying to do with this. Like, it made no sense that their clothes would become like this weird smoky. I just didn't like the effect. I was like, what? Makes no sense.
Yeah.
It's too mystical. Like, I was like, he's supposed to be a vampire. Like, he's not like this weird,
very Doctor Strange-ish.
Yeah, Doctor Strange / Nightcrawler. I was like, why are
Yeah.
you like poofing everywhere? Like, it makes no sense. Like,
he had plumes behind him.
Right.
yeah, I was like, what?
Nina, I didn't mind it. Like
Mhm.
it
You didn't
didn't.
mind
It didn't kill it for me. It didn't ruin it for me. I could see where it was like looked a little campy, a little cheesy. That almost felt in very 90s.
I know.
The CIG level.
It was just one of those things where I felt like it was forced. Like, it was like almost as if they discovered a new special effect that they could do, and they were like, let's just put the special effect everywhere in this movie because we can do this now. And I was like, oh,
but here's
you
why
done better with this.
The reason why it didn't ruin it for me, because I was so into what Lita was doing, and so when he was flying around for the first time, bouncing off sonic waves for the first time, I was like there. I was like, oh yeah.
I didn't get it. I didn't get it when he bounced that ball and the ball came into his hand and the ball like had like particles going up. I was like, how the
I
fuck
think
did
they got a
the
little too
ball?
showy. I think they were
Yeah.
like, I think the effects people were just like,
Yeah.
we're gonna do this with this ball.
Yeah, yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
everybody calm your tits on the effects here because we're talking about a ball. Like it's like it just made
But
no sense.
I think they were setting that up for the final boss battle. And like I said before, they can only make it so violent. So they had to give you something else to look at.
Yes,
It was
that's
pretty
exactly what it
violent.
was.
It was pretty violent. I mean, on the boat, he smoked like 6 of those dudes. I mean,
Well,
No,
they
but it
don't
wasn't
see
violent.
it.
Like we didn't see it. Like there was
It
no
was like, whoosh,
blood,
everybody's dead.
gore. Yeah. It was very like mystical, like I said. It's all
it
mystics,
was off
like
camera,
off
and
camera.
sometimes that could be powerful. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Um,
And I'm one of those people who actually really likes off-camera violence because I like,
mhm,
I'm like, I can, read it to the end. It just really depends on the movie. Like,
mhm,
for example, with me, I wouldn't like this kind of thing for Blade because I expect to go and see gore and like
mhm,
blood, and like vampires like literally like feeding off people
mhm,
and stuff like that. Also the other thing that was a huge difference in the Marvel, like the comic, or not the comic, the 90s animated thing that was very different was
mm,
that Morbius fed very differently in that story. Like he
Mhm.
fed through the palm of his hand because he would just
mhm,
like stick
mm,
the palm of his hand on people's face or like wherever on their body and would require like would take in the plasma through his hand. That's why he was like a very special kind of vampire. He wasn't like the typical vampire. That's why when he met up with Blade was like, "What? You're a vampire?" Like,
right.
because he was like, he's never seen anything like that before. He is a new type of vampire, and those kind of things was really cool. Whereas then I feel like they took that away from Morbius, like his
Mhm,
coolness and what makes him special.
Yeah.
They took that away and they made him just like an every other kind of vampire where he's like, sticking his, like teeth into people's necks and eating like that. I think they could have done really cool stuff with the hand, especially if you don't
mhm,
want to make it violent. Then why don't you go traditional then and be like, like
mm,
have him actually like stick his hand on people and like feed off of them through the hand? It would have been much cooler, I think.
I think
Because
if you're gonna give him those teeth, you better give him the ability to do
give
something
him
with them.
exactly,
yeah.
give him that like, extra oomph to like, when he sticks his like, like you want to see that, like, you want to see the blood dripping off the
Mhm,
neck, like, like that kind of stuff. To me, that's what makes a good vampire movie. And I feel like if you're gonna do that, then commit, commit and go forward. If you're not
yeah.
gonna, then don't and
Well,
go the other way.
maybe that cut had an R-rated cut because it
Yeah.
was it was
Mm,
besides the blood, it was pretty hard. There was some good for me. There was good violence besides the blood because
yeah.
me and Gore were like um afterwards like was this an rated R? Because it was like damn, this was violent, you know.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, I didn't think it was that violent.
but you
But then
know,
again, that's what I was also telling Jane because I was like, you couldn't tell because they're like, oh, it's not going to be violent, and then they show you a mouse dying in pain, like for like a good 30 seconds. You see this
mhm.
and like to me, if they're like, oh, we're not going to make this violent, but then we're going to show you an animal get killed, like in a very violent manner like that, like it just
Yeah,
made
yeah.
no sense. Like, okay, we're gonna try and not traumatize kids, but we'll show them an animal dying. Like I don't know. It makes no sense to me. Kingsport Cal, thank you so much for the $5, says Nina. What? Eres genial.
Genial.
Oh, can you read this, Polly,
Me
please?
gusta tu
Please.
canal. You're very lovely. Love your channel. Chico nuevo aquí. I'm new here.
Mm-hmm.
Tu estilo relajado es
Mm-hmm.
genial. Your style is great. No soy Latino, pero conozco algunas damas. I don't. I'm not. I'm not Latino, but I know some ladies. Me encanta la cultura. I love the culture. Well, neat.
Oh, what a
You
sweet
gonna break
thing.
his little heart.
I'm so happy that you were here to be able to read this because I don't speak Spanish and I would have no idea what you said. I would have been like, thanks.
Ah,
Yes, and also I'm not Latina, I'm Persian. Just FYI, I'm
which is
sorry.
even just as awesome and beautiful. Yes.
I mean, yes, of course, but I'm sorry to
Mhm.
break your heart. I'm
Right.
not Latino. Sorry.
I don't think
Hashtag sorry,
he's
not
not
sorry.
Latino either. Yeah. But yeah,
But
there you
yeah.
go.
But thank you. Thank you so much for that super chat. And then 200 Watt Studios is being weird again. Bats rely on sonics like super chat animal noises. Get out of here,
What does
200 Watt
animal noises?
Studios. It's because on Infinite Hope, I like made animal noises for super chats.
Oh, you
And now,
did?
yeah, and then he wants more now. It's like,
Oh, what kind of noises do you make?
Turtles doing things.
yeah, well,
Like,
turtles last week was
do you physicalize?
cats. No, I went off camera. I was like, you're not seeing this happen.
You guys should see. You guys should hear her sing. She's an awesome singer.
I wish they would give me super chats to sing, Polly. They would just want animal noises. Like, they're weird. Like so they asked
It's
me to
not
do
weird.
cat
It's
fighting
they're perverted.
noises and then cat heat sounds. And then I
Wait,
did
what?
it. Like,
Yeah.
like a cat in heat. And then I did it. And then people were like, oh my God, my cat thought there was a cat around here. That was the
Nina,
whole
they're
thing.
doing that so they can clip it.
I know. That's why I don't go on camera when I do it. I go off camera.
That's good. That's good.
They're
I thought you were
paying for
gonna be like all cute, like rah, and lick your paw.
200 Watt Studio says you skipped my super chat. I just read it.
Just read it.
I don't think you sent me another one that wasn't about animal noises, dude.
Yeah.
You weirdo.
it.
I
Yeah.
mean, you can keep sending them to me. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I don't see any other one.
I was the only. Yeah. Yeah. She's just on her own Nina time with them. That's all.
Courtesy of Montana, thank you so much for the $5. Says hi, Polly.
What up?
I said you must have been drinking after I saw you and Chris LMAO. Hi Nina, hi Jane. Hey
Hello.
Curtis, it's good to see you.
Hey,
Were you
Curtis.
drunk at the theater, Polly?
That would be really impossible since I'm 7 years sober. But
yay!
but I get that. I get that a lot. That you must be high, liking this movie or liking that. I'm like, yeah, sure.
Why not?
I don't need to be high.
Polly's high on life.
Yeah, man.
You have such a good like energy about you, Polly. Like you don't need drugs.
Well, trust me, it was a different Polly back in the day. That's all right. We're real people. But no, Curtis, thank you for the $5.
Thank you, Curtis.
Chris Gore was great to hang out with him again, and they do movie nights every Thursday in Burbank, so I might keep hitting some more.
Cool.
They're good company. It's just a bunch of film nerds. I love it.
Boosh McFadden says, never stop being weird, 200 Watt Studios. And I agree with this. I like you being weird for 200 Watt Studios. Don't stop being weird. And right on cue, 200 Weird Studios says, Nina, you are awesome. Made Sunday night great tonight. Aw, thanks. Thanks, 200 Watt. I'll be going on after this show. I think it's tonight at 11. I'm going to go on Adam's channel. Adam is Legal Mindset. So we planned a live stream. He's going to have me on as a guest. Let me bring up his channel so I can plug it.
Yeah, while you're doing that,
done.
I don't know when the last time we streamed. Maybe it was your birthday or whatever. But to see you and this channel grow and blow up, and seeing what you've been doing the last couple months, I'm so proud of you. I love you to death. And y'all make sure you're following Nina's every move. This is good stuff.
Thanks, Polly. That's so sweet of you. Another thing that I noticed about this movie too was that I didn't like the score. There was nothing special about the music at all. Like I was like,
I don't even remember it.
I don't even remember it either. Like there was nothing special about the music.
I
didn't.
think I'm agreeing on that one.
Like I was like, where's like it was just very generic, like very, very generic superhero. Like
the trailer had good music, so it was weird. I was expecting something more interesting.
There's something to be said also about a movie sitting on the shelf for too long.
Yeah.
And then you gotta, and then you see all these other fads, trends come and go. And you got to keep changing. And then SpiderMan, it's like, maybe there was something that just sounded too much like the SpiderMan music. I don't know. You're right. Yeah, that music.
Yeah, it was a little too generic for me. It was like,
Mhm.
let's see, like, what they do, and they didn't do anything special. I was half expecting them to introduce Felicia Hardy and Black Cat, but they didn't. They went with that lovely Hispanic woman, but I don't even know what her name is. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't like it when I
Mhm.
leave a movie theater and it's literally been an hour since I've seen this movie and I've already forgotten everybody's name. Like, I don't know who
Yeah.
anybody
There's
was.
Aja Arjona, and she was in Narcos Mexico, and
Okay.
she's also gonna be in 2 other big films this year. Um, well, one more film. It is the Cuban family version of Father of the Bride with Andy
Mm.
Garcia.
Oh.
That's coming out late this summer. Well, hopefully that's good. And then she's the female lead in the Andor television show
Okay.
opposite Diego Luna.
Oh.
So she's having a big year. She's gonna have a big year.
That's cool. The Andor? That's the Star Wars thing,
That's the
right?
Star Wars. Yeah, a lot of
Okay.
people are just like, what's up with that?
That's the
But
one
Yeah.
I think may actually be good, but who knows?
man, at this point, I'm just, that's
I keep saying that, though. I'm like, well, this one could be good. It
I was
could be.
really upset with Disney.
I said that about Morbius, and I'm so upset. Like, I was like,
Oh,
Well,
I
what?
Disney,
want
the company, has lost their ever
I
loving mind.
wanted Morbius to be way better than it was. And now I'm definitely like very concerned about Blade. I mean, I was already concerned about Blade, but I think Blade is gonna be so
I
bad.
I was so
With Mark.
excited about Morbius because I love Jared Leto and I love vampire movies.
Me too.
But no,
Well,
I
actually, I
liked
don't
it,
love
but
Jared Leto.
it didn't rise to. It didn't do better than I thought it would. But why? Why do you like Jared?
Because he's weird. He goes on these weird retreats in Croatia. We now know for a fact that he's drinking baby blood there or something, because there's no way
Ooh,
this dude is 50 years old.
Jared Leto.
yeah,
He's
he's
an
been around.
actual vampire, Polly.
Well, when you're at that kind of level of celebrity, you're doing the latest fads to stay young as possible. The worst thing
Mm.
for a celeb like that is to get old. It's
Mm.
But most of them do.
well, they all do. I mean, I'm just saying to be, we talk. Me and Romy talk about all this. We talk about it all the time because,
Mhm.
she's very fortunate the way she's aging gracefully. The way
Mhm.
she's aging, she still looks amazing. But it's on her mind. She's got the beauty regimen, all that stuff. She hasn't done any plastic surgery on her. But I'm just saying that
Yeah.
that's just it's a thing. So imagine that ridiculous celebrity level where you can literally afford anything. You're gonna go like have some freaking llama. I
Llama
don't know.
bloodbath.
You're gonna do some crazy shit just so you can make yourself look young. I mean, look at
I
all the
think
stuff
later
that.
goes into some weird shit though, because he goes into like these weird retreats, and then like that whole thing that happened with COVID. Like he was
Wait,
like
who
in
are we
some
talking about? Leto, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in
Okay.
some weird retreat in like Croatia or something. He had no idea what was going on with the rest of the world. Then he came back and he was like, "Wait, what? Everyone's on lockdown? What happened? I was on a retreat." Like
Yeah.
he goes
Well,
into these weird things and he looks like Jesus.
but maybe
Mm,
that's what it is.
He's
He's
wild,
separating
man.
himself from the craziness of the
Let's see.
world
yeah.
and maintaining his youth because he's unbothered.
It's
I'd
very
rather have those.
possible.
I'd rather have those celebrities than the other kind.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this dude. He literally looks like Jesus. I'm not joking you when I say that. Like
Uh,
he's got a complex, you guys. Like this is some weird shit right here.
That is weird.
Like, look at this. And he's like sitting here and
He's
I
feeding
mean,
off of their
come on now.
energy.
It's kind of
whoa,
wild.
what is that?
That's what I'm telling you. He's a weird dude. This
No,
guy's
but
a
what is
weird
like
dude.
what the f are they doing?
This is like his weird retreat.
It's a retreat.
It's a retreat that he's gone to.
He's
See,
a
this
life
is
coach, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I
this
think he's like
is
some sort of life coach. I don't know
yeah.
what they do there.
I just put a video out today on those
Wow.
high echelon celebrities. They need to stop playing God.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
know,
look at this dude. This dude clearly
Jesus.
thinks he's up there. Like, I don't
You talk
know.
about self-will run riot. It's right there.
Yeah.
That looks
You
kind of
know,
weird to me. I don't know, kind of culty,
no,
but
it is, and you know, somebody even said that about Will Smith's speech. The acceptance speech was like sounded like that of a cult leader.
little culty, just a little bit.
A little bit, right? And in my video, Nina, I just said, look, there's a difference between people who are like clinically like they need help, like an Ezra Miller. He needs to be, he needs some
Locked up.
major, yeah.
Mm.
And people who are just, just it's just
But it,
your propulsion is not through a higher power. It's your ego,
Hmm.
and that's Will Smith, Leto.
but I think they were saying that about Will because anytime you have a celebrity talking about God, a lot of those people don't like religion. So
Mm.
some of them
Oh,
I think may
is
have been
that
associating him with the cult because of his Christianity as well.
But that's the thing too, is because he was actually involved in the cult. Will Smith, he was involved in
He
yeah.
was in,
Scientology for a
yeah,
long
he was
time.
in that.
No, Jane, I got that he hey, you know what I got? I got was that, hey, if Denzel's saying I got the
Mhm.
devil on me, then I'm good. Like he was almost using, like, again, it was probably one of the just most surreal moments you'll ever see.
Hmm.
Is
But
that
that's
is that is that speech?
it's a
Yeah.
common saying though. Like when you get to a place of success, I mean, that's precisely when the devil will try to bring you down. I mean, that's a very common saying.
Well, and I said
And belief.
that. I said, the thing is that the media doesn't highlight a lot of actors that are perfectly balanced, with faith, family, and fame.
Yeah.
From Keanu to Hugh Jackman to, or people who have recovered and have their shit together, like Steve Buscemi, Danny Trejo.
Hmm.
Because that's not the clickbait. The clickbait is these weirdos going with Tom Cruise to a banana or whatever.
Well, they don't. I don't. I
A
think they
banana,
don't.
whatever. What?
I don't
What
know what
happened?
I'm
I
saying.
think they don't cover them until that happens, though. It's like if you're living a perfectly normal life, then they don't care. But when you have your fall from grace, then
Mm,
suddenly everybody has
Well,
an opinion.
what's
yes.
fascinating is that it was a fall from grace right in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
Right on
literally
your face. Like just
right on up on
fall
it.
on top of your head.
yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, low watermark
Wow.
for $50
Woo!
just says really nothing. Just dot 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 dot
Is it
dot.
dots or asterisk?
Is that I don't know. Thank
Either
you.
way, it's $50.
Wow. That is
Mhm.
insanely generous. You basically made my day because I was like, what did I just pay for? And so
Oh God,
you paid you
that's
paid for like
funny.
basically my movie experience and the food that I got and everything. So
And he
thank
didn't
you
even
so
ask for
much.
an animal noise.
Yeah, you didn't even
Yeah.
ask for an animal noise. So thank you for not asking.
Well, it is a
Um
low watermark, so that's probably his, him. That's
Thank
probably his
God he
language
didn't
that he's
ask for an
talking.
animal noise. Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. 200 Watt Studios for 5 says, just
Like,
so I know, will the band on your super chat animal noises be on Legal Mindsets channel tonight too? Yes, absolutely. If you're gonna pay for me to do animal noises, it's gonna have to be on my channel where I actually get the super chats, not somebody else's channel. It's not gonna happen. So yes,
Yeah, it's
that
usually how
there's
it
a ban
works.
on there. No.
Good luck in collecting that.
Yeah, exactly. And then King Sparkal, thank you so much for the 5, says, I love watching actors age. It reminds me that they're human. Just like when they F up and slap somebody.
yeah,
Leto's a
Mhm.
weird guy, but a good actor. I think that he's a good actor because he's such a weird guy. Most of the time, the really, really, really good actors turn out to be complete psychos.
completely like insane. I mean, I've said
Yeah.
before, I like Mel Gibson, and
Yeah,
he
so
has
do
Yeah.
to be
I.
the most effed up actor.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
Tom Cruise. I think Tom Cruise is
Yep.
one of the most underrated, like one of the people that has never won an Oscar and definitely deserved to.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Especially back in the day when it
Magnolia.
actually meant something.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
many different ones, so many
Mhm.
different movies that Tom Cruise has been a part of that I like. Every movie that I've ever watched with Tom Cruise, I've basically loved. Like I think that he's really,
Well, he's
really
a great
good.
he's a great movie star.
He
Yeah.
And
is.
he's
He's a
become
good actor.
he's become a decent, really, like a decent actor. and I agree. But personally, you know, but I'll still go see his movies.
King
yeah.
King
He gives
Sportal,
it
thank you.
everything. I will
Thank
say
you.
that about Tom Cruise. He goes 100. He's absolutely all in every role.
He
Yep.
is. And it's
Mhm.
like that's the one thing that like I really like about Tom Cruise. Like for example, like the guy is like he broke his ankle like,
Mhm.
shooting that scene in Mission Impossible and he finished it out. Like the kind of person he is with his craft. Like he has that kind
Mhm.
of, energy and I think that that's it's a
Commitment.
lost art in a sense when it comes to
And
actors because I don't think, new age actors are like that anymore.
Mm.
Like the new celebrity. Did you guys
Tom
happen to see
Holland, maybe?
hmm, who?
Tom Holland?
No, dude, no.
Actually,
No.
she makes a good point. You're going to see that from non-American actors because they're trained.
Mm.
Thank you, low watermark.
Thank
So
you.
generous. Thank you.
You know, like Death on the Nile. Anyone see Death on
Mhm.
the Nile?
I haven't
I
seen
haven't seen it because I was totally excited about that and then I realized that Army Cannibal Hammer is in it and I was like, never mind.
it.
I forgot he was in it,
Can't watch this
honestly.
movie now.
But that being said, a lot of great actors are in it, and they're
I
very like
know.
these great, highly trained actors, and you know, and I think that's what you're talking about because this latest generation of actors, a lot of them just come and go. If you
Yeah.
notice,
Yeah.
Mhm.
The
The next
Walking
one
Dead did really well too because I think so many of their cast were British and
Who?
theater trained actors. It was
The
I
amazing.
didn't.
Walking Dead, I think she
Yeah.
said.
The
Yeah.
Walking
Oh,
Dead.
girl, me. That's like one show me and Jane have streamed about. We need to stream again.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Mhm.
And that kind of goes back to like you kind of wish the day back in the day when you were surprised when you heard an actor speak with their British accent because
Right.
they didn't do a lot of interviews, like keep it
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah. But this is where I was getting at though, like
Hmm.
that because Hellbound is saying here, like Tom Cruise is also in Scientology. Tom
Yeah.
Cruise is the king of Scientology.
Yeah.
He's not just in Scientology, and like it's not like Will. Where Will like distance himself from Scientology. Tom Cruise is still in it. And he's very proud to be a
He's
Scientologist. He's not
apparently
one of those
like,
people.
isn't he a leader of some sort of
Yes, he is. He's like a
well,
very, very
yeah.
high level, high tier Scientologist. So like it's not like I'm not trying to say like, he's a great guy. I think in real life, I think he's crazy. I think he's mental, but I think that that's one of the reasons he's such a great actor because for you to be a great actor, you have to be a psycho. I really do. I think that you have to be able to dissociate yourself from reality to a point where I think it's like a psychopathic trait. I really do. I think that some actors are more capable of it than others. Not trying to insult like anybody's wife over here, Polly. So don't think I'm calling your wife a psycho or something like that. But I think that there's a certain level of psychology and like psychopathy that goes into being able to dissociate yourself from
Mhm.
reality to a point where you like literally become another human being and then become
Mhm.
so good at it over and over and over again. And I think one of those people is Tom Cruise. Some people are just better at it than others, and I think Tom Cruise is one of those people. Um,
Yeah.
the other thing about this movie, um, I I think that are are we even gonna get a Morbius too? Like I don't
Well, that's
I
why I
don't
asked
know.
you. Would you like to see him not necessarily in Morbius 2, but another film, in the Venomverse as Morbius?
Yes, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I mean, mind you,
Mhm.
I'm one of those people who actually hasn't seen Venom. I haven't seen Venom or Carnage. Like,
Really?
yeah, I
Ooh.
haven't seen any of the new or the Venom ones.
Hmm.
This is the first like Sony movie that I'm watching as a superhero movie, other than SpiderMan. Um,
Okay.
but I haven't seen the Venom ones. Because I heard it sucked. And at the time I wasn't reviewing movies. So I was like,
Oh,
why
you
would I
should do
watch
yourself
it?
a favor and check out the first one for sure.
Yeah, the first one's good.
Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
I'm gonna watch the first one,
Yeah,
definitely. I've
and it's
heard
Tom
Carnage
Hardy.
sucked.
And it's
Yeah,
Tom Hardy,
I like Tom Hardy a
I
lot.
love
Another
him.
great actor,
another British actor,
another British actor too.
Cavill,
Yeah.
British actor.
Yeah.
Um,
You know,
he's not a cannibal though,
His
so thank God.
performance in Peaky Blinders,
Oh my God.
my God.
I could not believe that was Tom Hardy. Like I was like the
Mhm.
first time I was watching Peaky Blinders, I was like, is that Tom Hardy? Like holy shit. It was pretty wild to see him in that.
Yeah.
Hellbound says Venom is way better than Morbius. Well, then
Oh
I guess I have
yeah.
something to look forward to because I don't know. This movie kind of like left a lot to be desired for. I feel
But
like.
I feel like this is one that could be better in a part 2. Like if they
Okay,
continue the story.
that's the thing that I was gonna ask you about, Jane, because this is again like we talk about this all the time. Like, oh, this is a great setup for another movie. It's like, could we
Mm.
get a good movie? Like, I don't I don't want another setup for another good movie. I want a
Right.
good movie now.
Sure.
Like, for example, the way Dune was for me. Like, this is it's a personal opinion. I thought Dune was a great first film that set up its own thing and held its own thing while
Yeah.
also setting up a great plot for the next movie. Like I thought that it did a really good job at captivating both. Like not like, okay, I'm going to like work the entire plot of my first movie to set up for my second movie that I may never get. Like I'm like I don't know how that works for people.
I think you make a lot of sense. I think that it's two things, right? You have a star behind it.
Mhm.
He's also an executive producer. So he's invested on it. He's invested in it at least being a hit. You've seen Leto really pushing the movie.
Mhm.
It's got to do well. And I think those two factors will be another movie. I think for sure we're gonna see him again, and I think he's quality. He's quality in what I feel what they're doing now in Venomverse. You have all these amazing actors, in these.
Is it possible they're going to bring them into Doctor Strange?
I don't know what the loopholes are. Like what all the the hoop what do you call
Yeah,
it?
I don't know
Jumping
it
through
either.
hoops would have to be.
Yeah, they're weird.
What they're allowing.
You might not be wrong because I heard there was weren't there some major
Cameos.
edits and some last minute filming? I think because the way this is the SpiderMan effect.
I'm telling you this. I said that too. I think this is the SpiderMan effect. 200 Watt Studios for 2 says time travel movie and call it Morbius loop. I actually like this 200 Watt Studio. That's funny.
So I think
I like that.
because Romy doesn't really keep up with all this stuff. As far as like, and she's like, I told her what I was going to go see. I think I said it real fast, and she's like, "Oh wow, they're giving Lawrence Fishburne his own movie." And Morbius, not Morbius.
That's funny. Curtis P. No. Blade is Marvel property now.
Okay.
So it's going to be part of the MCU. It's not going to be. It's not Sony. So unfortunately, Blade is gonna. Oof.
You scared about that one?
Yeah, I'm very concerned.
You're not
about
feeling
Blade.
good about it?
No.
And I really like Mahershala Ali too. That's the other thing. I freaking love Mahershala Ali.
Who's the writer director on that?
Blade.
Let me look it up. But
the thing is, they have good actors. It's the actors aren't the problem. It's just
the actors are never the problem. It's like what I found. I don't know if it was you that posted it, Jane, or somebody that Alexander Skarsgård is going to be the new Crow.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a
Bill Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård, sorry. But I think Bill is a great actor. I love his acting capabilities. He's got the chops. It's just like, is it going to be a good movie though? Like, is it going to be like scripted well and cut well and like blah, 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 like everything else? It's not about the acting at this point because actors really like there's a lot of good actors. Like what happened with Pattinson. Pattinson's a good actor. He's just like we needed more from the director. We needed him to be directed more so he can get a better performance. So to the answer to your question though, no, it's a Marvel property. I don't like Craven, but I think Craven's Sony though. I think Craven's gonna be Sony.
I think they're working on it.
They are working on it. I heard. Who did they cast? I think
they cast
I don't remember who I heard. I think they were saying they were looking at Keanu Reeves for Craven. But I was like, why is Keanu getting cast for everything now? It's like, can we just get like something that's not Keanu Reeves? Mind you, I love Keanu Reeves, but it's like, I don't know, for Craven though, I don't know if I would like that. Let's see, Craven the Hunter
Why are these
movie. Do we
actors
have any
doing this
like?
to themselves?
Oh wait, he's already been cast.
Oh, has he?
He's some dude named Aaron Tyler Johnson.
So he's
Yeah,
in the
that's
movie.
a British actor.
He's a British actor. I didn't
Mhm.
know that.
He was in Kick Ass and played John Lennon in a movie. It's really good.
Hmm.
He was a Quicksilver.
He was Quicksilver in
Yeah.
the other movie.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what? Wait a
He's
second.
He's the
he shows
original
up in WandaVision.
Quicksilver.
He's the other Quicksilver.
Yeah, the original one.
Right.
Here he is. I'm gonna share my screen. He's this dude. Ooh, he's really hot.
Oh, I
yeah,
love
he's a good-looking
him.
boy. He's a good-looking boy.
He was in Twilight.
He was?
Was he? Was he?
Who is he in Twilight?
That was I
Oh
think
my
it was
god, he's
Twilight.
the other dude. He's the other vampire dude, right? The one that lives in their
What
house.
was his name?
Wait, let me put Twilight.
Jasper. Yeah.
Jasper. Yeah, that's right. There he is. Oh my god, he was so young. There he is. Wow. He's so different looking now.
Oh my God, that was him?
Yeah.
No.
He's so
Are you
like,
sure?
look, yeah, he's so different looking now.
Wow, he became a man.
Wow. He bulked up too. Well, he's gonna have to bulk up even more for Craven, because Craven the Hunter is like, he's like a big guy.
So
There he
I got
is.
some. All right, so you want some Blade information?
Of course.
Okay, so I think just off of
Oh no, my bad. That wasn't him. Never mind. He
That's
doesn't
not
look like
him?
No.
that's not him. That's
I
not
thought it
him.
was him.
I thought
that-
it was too. They look just alike.
The eyes just look too different. I always look at the eyes.
I was like, damn, this guy like literally changed.
And yeah, it was too much of a.
It's like
of
a whole different person.
transformation.
It was a whole different-
So this director,
He transitioned from being. Never mind.
I think
Go
this
ahead,
director is
Paul, sorry.
either Pakistani, and he looks like he's done some good work in the recent past with Riz Ahmed. So he's going to be directing the new Blade. So that's
Wait,
his
who?
name. His name is the director of the new Blade is Basim Tariq. And
Okay.
he looks like he's got some decent credits, and he's worked with Riz Ahmed, who's a very talented gentleman. That's the good news. The bad news is the writer wrote Watchmen.
Ooh, that is extremely bad news.
So
So what we're gonna get, you guys, I'll tell you right now what's gonna happen with Blade. Blade's going to be the black fuck.
Victim of oppression.
You know all the vampires are gonna be white. Let's just say that. And then he's
I think
gonna,
they're all white last time.
he's gonna be going around slaying a lot. Not the vampire queen.
the show, not the movie, Alan Scott. The show Watchmen. The movie
The
Watchmen.
vampire queen was black, dude.
Oh, I
She's
don't remember.
she's Alicia. But yeah, I don't know. Watchmen, gross.
They'll add some sort of
There's
thing
gonna
to
be
remind you that he's black, of course. So.
there's
Even though
going
he's not
to
human
be,
anymore, but whatever.
yeah, there's gonna definitely be some major, I don't know, wokeisms. Let's just say wokeisms in there.
Did they say Blade will be a Muslim or something? Well, the actor's Muslim.
The actor's Muslim.
And it looks like the director could be a Muslim. I mean, I don't want to assume.
But why would the character be Muslim if he's a vampire?
But yeah, if the character.
But the character uses like Catholicism to slay vampires, so I don't know. I'm not really sure how that works, because he literally like uses like crosses, and it's very classic stuff with Blade.
Mhm.
Crosses, holy water.
Yeah.
like all that kind of stuff. That's why he gets so fascinated with Morbius, because Morbius doesn't respond to any of those things. That's
I'm
like the
look
whole thing.
I'm looking at the box office of
Polly,
this.
you're getting real staticky.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't know
sorry.
what's going on with your
Hello,
audio.
hello. Is that better?
No,
Check one.
you're like all crackly. Maybe
Really?
go out and come back.
I will.
Um,
Let me get out of here. Be right back.
what? Read a comic. What? HBO Watchmen was a goddamn masterpiece. Wow. Wow. Really? I heard it was trash.
I didn't really like it.
I heard it was just like entirely woke and extremely trash. I didn't watch it because I was like, I don't want to watch this. This doesn't sound like fun. Like I want to be entertained. I don't want to be like preached to when I watch something.
Well, they turned it seemed like the whole motivation turned to from like a different kind of politics to a modern kind of politics.
Oh, Jane, now you're crackly. Maybe that's just me.
Maybe it's me.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, you're both crackly.
Is it
Maybe it's
my
just
Mac?
my thing. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's weird. Okay, hold on.
I think the audience is saying I sound fine. Yeah, maybe you need to bounce out. No. So
Bounce
what were
on your own stream. What did you think of The Watchmen?
the TV show?
The movie.
The
Well,
movie?
The TV show, the HBO, was it a HBO special? Yeah.
It was a
TV
limited
show.
series. I honestly didn't see it. I don't know, maybe because it's, I need to see it. I
Yeah.
have people who I respect that liked it and people I
Mhm.
respect who absolutely hated it. So how about you? Did you see it?
I did see it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it for different reasons though. That I think most people, like a lot of people, got turned off by the Tulsa thing. I didn't have a problem with that. I just had an issue with them making God, I forget what they're called, but the one group, it's almost like they tried to lay over the Klan into the story somehow, or Klan type element, and it just seemed weird because racism wasn't a motivation in the story before the show.
Right.
So it just didn't fit, like it didn't make sense to me.
And I think I was at that point where I was just like, was it 2020?
Yeah.
That year I just didn't want to watch anything to do with racism.
It was just too weird.
Not for entertainment. I'll give it a shot. I mean, yeah.
It just gets on my nerves when they feel like if they're introducing Black characters into something, that they have to, the only way they can write them in a way that they feel is relatable is to make them victims of racism in some way.
Well,
and it's like you don't have to have that in every show.
Yeah. Well, we said that, and and I say that all the time with Latino portrayals. They really, are super lazy and bad with them,
Yeah.
And the real good ones are usually, written and directed by, Latino writer directors, because they have good insight, but they know how to entertain you. I think the entertainment is first. There's a TV show called The Promised Land I've been high on, and it's like, little part novella, part drama, and just but it's like this family that there's all the characters have something different going on. I'm like, that's how it should be done,
right?
And it's entertaining, but yeah, what's going on with Nina?
I don't know. I think she's trying to fix her mic, but I didn't hear anything. It didn't sound bad to me.
Yeah. How do we sound, guys, in the chat? We're here holding it down for Nina Infinity.
I didn't like Peacemaker either.
Peacemaker?
Actually, but I don't like the character, so I was never going to go.
Hi, sorry. I was trying to figure out how to fix my crackly. Like, I don't know why I hear you guys crackly, but I don't think it has anything to do with you guys, so you're fine.
You want to switch your? You should maybe it's your headset. You have a different headset you can switch out.
I don't know. No,
the
not right now.
Doesn't hear anything.
No, you guys are fine. You guys are fine. Sorry. But sorry. Go ahead. Keep talking.
No. I mean, we're talking the same Hollywood But
Hollywood's lack of creativity.
yeah, just a lack of creativity. You know, that's why I'm kind of interested to see what these two gentlemen do with Batgirl because they're really good filmmakers,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like non-traditional casting. You know, you have Leslie Grace as Batgirl, but then her dad's J.K. Simmons. So I'm like, this is kind of cool. You know, I like that.
But I see that's the thing too. Like I wish they wouldn't focus so much on the casting in terms of trying to make a particular statement and just focus on developing the character and then
Mhm.
cast whoever you want to cast. It's like I
Well,
feel like they're starting from this is what we want the character to look like instead of this is who we want the character to be.
yeah, I think definitely the media and the studios and their press releases hammer that.
Yeah.
Just hammer it to where you're thinking that that's what it's going to be about, and then when you see it, then it's like, oh yeah, well, you know, that was pretty good. Like it was like with the way they hammered, you know. All right, great. Um, you know, but in the reality, like with Batgirl, is that there was three different actors, three different backgrounds that were like really good actors that were the finalists. I'm getting this from Cameron Pasha, that they were the finalists, and in that room, they just went with the best actor. You know, again, I'm curious to see what these gentlemen come up with because I like I like the that last Bad Boys for Life.
Are we talking about wait, are we talking about Bad Boys 4? Because that shit got canceled, yeah.
No, we're just talking about like your,
Oh.
you know, race swapping and all, and
Oh,
just how lazy Hollywood can be with Black and Latino portrayals.
that's very true. Very
Mhm.
true. Judas Go Barbecue? Wow, okay.
Nope,
Um,
barbecue.
Mm.
I really like that name. For $5 says Aaron Taylor Johnson was the character of Kick Ass in the movie of the same name. His costume was interesting.
Mhm.
Really?
I remember Kick Ass, but
I don't I
Really? Oh,
I
that
don't
first
remember.
one
I
was
saw it, but I don't
fantastic.
remember.
Yeah.
I don't like I remember seeing it. I don't remember much from it. I've
Mhm.
been told several times like Brie Larson was in that movie, and I was like, she was? Like, I don't remember Brie Larson being in that movie at all.
I think they mean Scott Pilgrim because those kind of like similar. They're kind of, you know, they came out around the same time,
Um,
but
yeah.
maybe I don't remember.
I don't remember that one either.
I don't remember her in Kit Kat. Really?
Yeah,
There's
I
so
think
many
you're right,
movies I
Polly. I
don't
think it
remember.
was Scott Pilgrim that she
I
was
think
in.
you guys would both enjoy those films.
I've seen both.
Yeah, I've
Oh,
seen
okay.
them. I just
Oh, you
forgot.
did. Okay.
Yeah. It
Well,
wasn't like my favorite thing though, but I think maybe if I watched Kick-Ass now, I would like it more than what I did before because I think I wasn't nerdy
mhm.
enough for it before. Now I think I would enjoy it more.
Would have had McLovin as the bad guy.
Dude, McLovin's fucking amazing. I see that's a movie I could watch over and over and over again and just never get sick of it, even though I
Superbad.
freaking hate Seth Rogen. Yeah, I love Superbad. Superbad's one of my favorite movies ever made.
He
That
wrote some good stuff back in the
that like
aughts.
freaking
Mhm.
scene where he's like, she perioded on your leg, man. I was on the floor, man. I was on the floor. That stuff was like next level.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Judas. Go barbecue for that
Yeah.
$5. And also, Dario Jurek sends $5 just to tip us $5 for having this conversation, I guess. Thank you so much. That's very generous. Okay, so I think we talked pretty much everything that we've had to say about this movie. Jane, do you have any final thoughts about Morbius? What do you give it out of 10? Like,
Well,
do you recommend people go watch it?
I do recommend people go watch it. It's not terrible. Like I said, I enjoyed it for what it was,
Mm-hmm.
but I certainly can see the problems that people have with it. And like at the end, like I said before, the boss battle was just funny, and I don't think it was meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
But other
Yeah,
than
I agree with you. I don't think it was meant to be, but it was funny.
I would give it a strong 7 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Um, Polly, what about you? What do you give it out of 10? Do you recommend people go watch it?
Yeah, same 7. I give it a. I think we were like between 6 and 7. I went up to 7.
Wow, you
Um,
guys are rating it high.
I would. I mean, yeah. I mean, now that being said, if you have, I would definitely try to get a matinee price if you're tickets are too expensive. Um, if you like Leto, even more, but yeah, I had a good time.
Cool. As for me, even though I also like was okay with it, I can't in good consciousness give it anything more than a 5 because I rated Batman as a 5 and I think Batman was a superior movie to this. When it comes to with regards to like if we're talking superhero movies or villains or whatever, I feel like the Batman was a better superhero movie than this. It was much more, it was
No,
dark, but it was really well done
no, absolutely
cinematically.
not, Nina.
Yes.
Nina,
Cinematically,
it was
like cinematography in Batman was way better than
as a
Morbius.
whole. Morbius is a better film than the Batman.
What?
The first as a
Wow.
whole movie.
What?
As a whole
No.
movie, right? The whole movie of the Batman was not. It fell off the radar, man. That first hour was perfect.
No,
that next
Batman
hour and a
fell
half.
off in the third act.
Come on, that third act was. I mean, no, it fell off a lot before.
This doesn't even feel like a whole movie.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Which one?
The Morbius.
Morbius.
But you just recommend. You just gave it a 7.
Yeah, but
I
What'd
didn't
you
give
give
it
the
a 7.
Batman?
I was about to give it a 3.
What did you give the
but
Batman?
compared to the Batman,
What did you give the Batman?
Yeah, Jane, what'd you give the Batman?
I would probably give it an 8 or a 9.
I'd give the first hour a 9. I'd give the last half of it a 5. I mean,
Yes, yeah, I gave the whole thing a 5 because I was like, meh, like it was all right.
You gotta respect Nina; she's consistent. But anyway, sorry for interrupting you, Nina.
Oh no, it's okay. I was just thinking that because I gave Batman such a low grade, I feel like there's no way I can give Morbius a higher one. So I would go with either a 4 or 3 at this point for
Wow.
Morbius because there's no way. I'm even though Batman did suffer like horribly with the third act, there was a lot of good stuff that was with it that was superior to Morbius, which is like I feel like the music, the
Cinematography was amazing
like,
in the Batman.
a lot of there was a lot of really good stuff in the Batman. So I can't.
Yeah.
In
No,
good
I loved
consciousness.
it too. That's why I was really upset with that last hour and a half.
I know. I was upset with
I was
it too.
beyond. I was beyond.
like,
It took me out. Morbius never took me out. It just, there was just some like editing problems.
Morbius took me out mid movie, which I didn't like, and then captivated me in the last bit of the movie, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm like, I want more, and then they were like, done, it's over. Sorry, you're gonna have to wait like
for me,
another
it was
3
at the
years.
end where I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. I mean, it was funny, but it was like, you can't be serious.
Yeah, like that dude, that whole bat fight, like I was like, how did they get out of the cage? Like, what? No. There was a lot of problems with Morbius. The more I think about it, I'm like, bro, that movie was fucked
And
up.
the slow motion freeze frame shots.
You're gonna get this. I'm pushing the bats to you, and the bats gonna hold you down, bitch. Oh my god, they held him down like those.
What about the Batman? I'm gonna
kid.
save you. I'm gonna save everyone. Come follow me through this river. I'll part the sea. Come, mayor. Come, citizens. Here's a helicopter. Here's my Superman pose.
When he was like, "I'm vengeance," I was
Remember
like,
the
"Oh,
ending of the Batman, honey? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
What about it?
You didn't like it either.
Oh no! When those scenes where they were pulling out, they were like refugees. No.
Oh, whoa. That's funny.
That's really
hilarious.
That's hilarious. Nina saying you're hilarious, babe. She's like,
They were like,
they were cute. Oh no, you didn't. Row me with the hot take.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wow.
nice reaching out. It's like Batman the Messiah. What's going on here?
It was like they were getting on a raft.
What I mean, I'm like shocked that you guys are even like, the first hour is like, oh yeah,
Solid. First hour
yeah.
solid for Batman. But the second hour, not so much. Well, I mean, the second hour, yes, but like the last like freaking half an hour is like just cut that half an hour out and you had a great movie. I don't know why you
I
did
can't
that.
rank Morbius above that though.
That's what I'm saying. I cannot, in good conscience,
It
rate
was the same.
Morbius
For me, it was
above
the same.
5.
I actually gave it the same rating.
Mm.
I gave it because like the problems we just talked about level out.
I cannot
each
be
film.
part of this Batman hate.
Oh, King, I'm not hating.
I didn't hate it. I just think that the last act needed better. Like it needed more. I wanted more
Yeah.
from Batman. The
You had
music in Batman, though, man.
Oh,
oof,
I have that.
that score. That was
Beautiful,
great. So good.
beautiful.
So
And the
good.
cinematographer won the Academy Award for Dune. It's
Yeah.
the same cinematographer.
Freaking amazing in cinematography.
Gorgeous.
That's what I'm talking about. There's certain things about the Batman that I cannot, in good conscience, be like, oh yeah. Morbius was as good as this. No,
No, but Morbius, this was a comic book movie. This was like horror film. It was fun.
So was
Didn't
Batman.
have
Batman's a comic book movie, bro. What the fuck?
no. Reeves said this is not going to be a comic book movie. This is going to be a detective serial killer.
But it's based on a comic book.
Nina, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
But the thing is, I'm glad you brought that up because the distinction too is I can't think of a single scene from Morbius that I would like have as a print on my wall.
From Morbius, yes, you're right.
No, I would have a print of him like looking over his shoulder with his teeth and stuff. That was badass.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I would carve that into a pumpkin.
I mean, right after he that's like isn't that right after he sucks he sucks the blood out of Homegirl? He looks over his shoulder.
No, that was when he
drank the blood.
There were several shots like that though, where he looks over and it's a close up of his face.
The first one was when he saw her like lying on the ground and he like looks back and he sees her like that's when he beats up those dudes the first time, the first mercenaries, and then like it's like the famous shot from the movie now, from the poster.
Oh, and we didn't mention the buffoon cops. I love those.
Oh my god.
Dude, El Madrigal was awesome.
That was funny. I think is that Tay Diggs? It was Tay Diggs, right?
That was Tay Diggs and Al
That
Madrigal.
was funny. I thought Tay Diggs was hilarious. I think they were a little bit too comical for I was like, they're almost a little too comical for this. Like, I don't know why. It's just so funny every time they appear. They're like retarded.
It totally worked for me because everyone else wasn't.
In Morbius you're talking about?
Yeah, in Morbius. The two cops.
The two cops.
No, that wasn't Tay Diggs. That was
I thought it was Tay Diggs.
Tay Diggs and Al Madrigal.
Was it Tay Diggs?
Yeah.
No, it's not Tay Diggs. It's Tyson.
Oh, sorry, not the guy from
Tyrese.
Tyrese.
That's what it is. I'm sorry. So bad with names.
Because Tay Diggs he's got a different big eyes.
He's the guy from freaking what's it called? The car movies.
Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
We're so racist.
Well, I said the other two white guys.
It's because both their name starts with T. It was like Tay or Ty, or I don't remember what it was.
But Ty Diggs he's got big eyes. Tyrese has got like I can't even say that without getting in trouble.
He's part Chinese, I think, actually.
Okay, I can say that then.
My mix-up was totally related to the names, not about the race. God damn it.
I mean, how funny was it when Al Madrigal brings in the holy water?
That was funny. That was one of the parts that was a really good comedic thing, and I thought it was really funny. And he brings up the holy water. He's like, "I'm just gonna like put this here." I thought that was funny,
dude. And Morbius he scared the shit out of me when he was like, "Whoa!"
Did you guys also think that Morbius's animation was better than Matt Smith's? Because I feel like his transformation for Morbius looked way better than Matt Smith's. Matt Smith almost looked like kind of like the Crypt Keeper. I was like, why does he look like a skeleton? Like he's supposed to look like a vampire. I don't know. I feel like Morbius looked better than, and I don't know if it's because like Leto just looked better as that, or I don't know what that was.
I mean, Matt Smith has got a weird look anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He actually.
Are you calling Matt Smith ugly, like, without calling him ugly?
Compared to Leto.
Well,
Leto.
he looks. I mean, what dude doesn't look average compared to Leto? He looks
That
amazing.
is not true. No. God damn it. God damn it. 201
Uh,
Studios for 2 says, I totally respect you, Nina. Well, I'm glad after that weird Tay Diggs situation that you still respect me. Thanks, 200 watts.
Situation.
Tyrese.
Jesus fucking Christ. I just canceled myself.
It's all right. I'm with you.
Although, Polly, I don't know if you saw, but I'm already being called racist
saw
because I
that.
put on that video about
that.
Will Smith, and I didn't realize that being a narcissist was a white people only thing. But apparently it is. So now I've been labeled a racist.
Yep.
Which is whatever. But okay, so you gave it a 7, Polly.
Yeah, I give it a 7.
Morbius. Okay.
Go see
Yeah.
it. Have fun.
Yeah, go see it. Okay. I gave it a 4, maybe 3, 3.5.
3.5.
Between 3 and 4. Definitely not over 5. Come on, guys. There's no way. But I also say if you have a minute to kill and if you want to go to the theater and if you want to just have some fun, this is not a woke movie. You're just gonna have some fun with this. Just don't expect to see anything too like amazing and just expect to go like kill 2 hours and have a little bit of fun. Not everything has to be like the best thing ever,
Mhm.
And I feel like if you just want to go kill a couple hours at the movie theater with your girl or like with your dude and with your friends, whatever, go see it. Why not? It's not one of those movies where you're like, no, like don't waste your time. I feel like there's definitely stuff there. You'll be entertained. It's an entertaining movie. But
Yeah.
otherwise, that's it. That's all I got.
It's an entertaining movie, but I give it a 3.5.
Yeah, it's entertaining, but I give it 3.5 because man, it was definitely like worse than the Batman. I mean, hell, fuck. Like I story wise, the Batman was better. I don't know. And for a dark movie too, Batman was better. It wasn't even like, okay, like let's make it a little bit brighter than the Batman. It wasn't even brighter. I was like, this is such a dark movie. It was so dark. I couldn't handle it.
Maybe it was that Mexican screen that you're watching on.
Shut up, Polly. No, Jada agreed with me that it was dark. And she's black. She can talk about black
Game
things.
of Thrones season 8 dark.
It was.
You just canceled yourself again. You're such a
No, I
racist.
didn't. No, I'm
Racist.
saying she can talk about dark theaters. Okay, never mind.
No, it just sounded funny. God, we're busting balls here, Nina.
I know.
You know. Come on.
I'm just gonna have to kick myself out. Matterhorn says, I'm done with Marvel and DC trash, but do love these reviews, Nina. Well, that's why I do them too, because I know there's a lot of people that are sick of this shit. And they're like, you know what? Can we just hear about what it sounds like and what it is? So that's why I'm doing this. So thank you for being here and listening in.
Yeah.
This is why we do things. 200 Watt Studios for 2 says, I taking my girl Jada to my, oh my God. What?
They're gonna go see Morbius tomorrow.
Have fun. You know what I did see in the before the movie started that got my like heart pumping though, that like you know when you get those rare trailers where you're like, ooh, I can't wait for this.
Ooh, yeah, tell me.
It was The Northman. I was
yes.
like I was just like, oh, let's go. Like I wish I was sitting in the movie for that movie right now. Like that's the thing that I felt. And I could see, like I kind of looked around as people were like watching that trailer too, and everyone was like, whoa, like like everybody was kind of like really glued to the trailer. So like that's probably one of the next movies that I'm really looking forward to is The Northman. I cannot wait for that movie.
Anything a Skarsgård is in, I'm in.
Count me in too, Jane. Hell yeah.
You got a great cast all around him too.
So good. I can't believe Nicole Kidman's in it. I was like, holy shit! Like this movie's crazy. Okay.
It looks the looks incredible.
It does. Polly, tell everyone where they can find you before we close out the show.
Yeah, YouTube, The Latino Slant. I
There
put
you go.
videos up almost every day, short to long ones, and got a live show Wednesday. So
Perfect. Let me quickly put Latino Slants channel in the chat so everybody
nice.
knows.
And I'll recommend a Viking one too. It's a show called The Last Kingdom. It's 5 seasons long. It's on Netflix.
Jane has told me to watch that several times, and I haven't yet.
Nina, they just ended their run. Epic.
It has an ending.
Epic.
So good.
And they just filmed a feature film called the Seven Kings Must Die. And this lead actor,
amazing.
I'm gonna have to watch this.
So I highly recommend that, guys.
Well, next week I think we're gonna start to review, what was it called? Severance?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're gonna be doing Severance for next week.
Really good show.
Watch Attack on Titan. I know I gotta finish that out too. That's
so
gonna
much
be
good
another thing
stuff
that's
out
finishing out. Although I know the ending already because I've read the manga, but
wait, Morbius saying there's gonna be cave Vikings in the Northmen.
What?
What?
I haven't. Have you read that? Is that a source somewhere, or are you just saying that?
Yeah, where's the sources on this?
The only thing that concerned me a little bit about the trailer and the promotional material is that they are centering the one female character.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if she's gonna end up if it's a bait and switch type situation, but
I hope not. She does look like a damsel in distress,
especially
though.
when it's called the Northman.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
It's
they're
gonna be like the North Whammon all of a sudden.
the North
die.
The North binary number.
Oh my god.
She used to be a man.
Freaking hell. Seven is dope.
It is.
Right.
I keep trying to tell. I'm trying to sell this show to people.
Well, Jane told me to watch it, and she
what is
wants
it on?
to review it for next week. Apple Plus.
Apple Plus.
Okay. Severance.
So we're gonna be watching that. Polly, if you watch it and you want to join us, just let me know, and we'll get you in here.
We gotta figure out something for you guys to come back on the slant as well. But I love reviewing stuff live. That's fun. It's fun to talk about.
Did you like Lost?
Lost?
Yeah.
You mean the lot like J.J. Abrams? Romy was into it. I like the first season, but then I stopped.
Yeah. There's another show called From on Epix.
No. We saw From. We're watching From. We liked it.
Yeah.
No, we're in it.
I love that show.
We need to
I'm
get back
nervous
in
about that show, this From show.
Trying to get people to watch that too.
It better have a freaking ending, Jane.
Yeah, I think I replied to you when you put that.
Oh, you did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, after Severance, I'll probably check out From, and then maybe we'll also review Moon Knight, maybe possibly after it's done.
What'd you think about that first episode?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm waiting. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna see. I haven't had a chance, but I'm going to watch it. I have it on my. I have it queued up, but I haven't watched it yet.
That's great.
But maybe when it's done, I'll do a full review for the entire, because I think it's only 6 episodes, so we might just do like a full one. But okay, so everybody, I'm gonna be on Legal Mindset later tonight at 11 my time, I think. So that's like 12 midnight. So come and check me out there. Here is a link to that channel. Let me put that in.
Thanks for the invite, Nina.
Yeah, it was really fun to talk to you. I'm glad that you came and said hi in the chat. So everybody check out Legal Mindset's channel. I'll be on there later tonight at 11. And then tomorrow you can find me on the Toxic Fam on Midnight's Edge. And then Tuesday I'll be on the Real BBC. And then Wednesday I got my own stuff going on this channel again. So sub and, follow me on Twitter, all that jazz. I announce where I'm going to be wherever I am. Otherwise, check out my Will and Jada what's it called video that I made. That one's really, really good. I thought it was a really good video explaining the psychoticness of what is going on with the Smiths. So definitely check that out, guys. And again, thank you so much, Jane and Polly, for joining me tonight for this review of Morbius. Hope you enjoyed it, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
An outro. Okay, bye.
Bye. When am I gonna